start. Yo, boy, we be streaming.
We're live?
Yeah, we're live. We're live. We're live.
Now, all I can see is your chair. Oh, nope, now you're just two squares again.
Okay, well, we're live.
Oh, well, isn't that just dandy?
Well, don't you know it?
Abram?
Yeah?
Abram, next episode should be the dandy episode.
The dandy episode? Well, we can't even get to the dandy episode till we get to the live episode. And to get to the live episode, can you put that link in the announcements tab?
Oh, Christ, I thought you were going to do it.
I thought you were gonna, because I don't remember, because I have it set up in a particular way.
Uh-huh, sure, buddy.
Oh, you just sent me a picture of myself.
I did, yeah, because that's all I can see. Ooh, I could watch the stream to watch you move. Instead of just seeing a couple doubts.
A couple doubts.
Doubts.
Hey, everybody. We got a viewer right now, so...
A viewer!
Here's what's going to be important tonight. This is BLB. We're live. Hey, everybody. If you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, you missed a real hootenanny. It's really important tonight, if you are here, that you just comment and chat, just say hi. Or
say more than that, actually.
Throw out a topic of conversation, engage in the conversation, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'd love for people to submit topics for us to talk about.
Yes. Now, of course, we are going to be going through the games we play because that's what BLB is. But
no.
we might piss and fuck about if you have anything you want us to talk about.
Oh, I didn't realize we were doing that. I just went earlier.
Yo, Ninlock. I am a viewer. Hi, Ninlock. Are you somebody from our Discord, Ninlock? I don't recognize your name, but you might be.
I think that's one of the guys that I know.
Oh, boy. Well, thank you so much for joining. Tucker, here's what we got to do. Here's the situation, right?
Yeah.
We're live. We've promoted it. People are going to be here and they're going to comment. That's very important. They're going to say hi. But ultimately, we're still doing BLB.
Yeah.
Because it has been 3 weeks since we posted the touching episode. And that touching episode was recorded weeks before that. And so...
Was it?
Yes, it was. Because that video was recorded before Xenoblade came out. Because we talked about, we talked about, hey, when Xenoblade comes out, we're not going to have many games to talk about. Now, that ended up being true because you stopped playing games for a period of time. But you do have something to talk about. But I didn't.
Do I? Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And we're going to talk about Xenoblade just for a couple minutes. We can save long form chat for another.
That's the next show. Long form chat.
But I want to make sure we do talk about Xenoblade because.
Well,
you don't want to talk about Xenoblade? You played 30 hours of it. I played some. Why don't you share some thoughts?
Yeah, well, it's been a long time since I played it, so I kind of forgot.
Well, Tucker, do you replay games?
Good one.
If I asked you a question about a game you played 2 years ago, you'd have something to say about it. You played Xenoblade in the last couple of weeks. You can do it.
But I didn't finish it, so this is a genuine thing about me.
It's on like Donkey Kong. Yes, it is, Tim. Thank you for joining. It's a pleasure to have you. It's a pleasure to have you. Tucker, keep talking.
Well, before I was so rudely interrupted by Donkey Kong himself, a genuine thing about me is the reason I like to finish things is because if I don't finish them, they don't stick in my memory at all.
Sure.
Like, I saw almost all of this is TV, so it's different. But I played almost all or watched almost all of Squid Game and Twin Peaks. Could not tell you a single name of a character. Could not tell you a single plot point. And same with games. Like I played a bunch of Elden Ring. Yeah. I don't remember anything about that game except for like the visuals.
See, but Tucker,
most of Final Fantasy VII.
But Tucker, you talked about Kirby Star Stacker. Remember, BLB is
because we did that within a couple days. Yes. No, actually, that was tough. Remember, I couldn't remember anything about that game, even though it had been less than a week since I played
Tucker,
it.
I am going to. I don't want to get hit with that terms of service, so I am going to not say anything. But you know what? Fine. I guess.
What's the terms of service thing?
I don't want to say what sort of bodily harm I'd bring unto myself if we don't talk about Xenoblade.
Oh.
I don't want to mention that because I don't want to get us in trouble. But here's what I want to do. Sure. I'm going to pull up my backlog here, and we're just going to start hitting them rapid fire. Because Tucker,
what? Your thing?
Yeah, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games to talk about.
Well, that sounds like how many I usually play in a week when I'm playing games, so.
Tucker, this is why I keep you around. factual observations. And as I said before, comment and chat if you've got thoughts on the game that we talked about you want to share, or if you've been playing something you want us to talk about it.
Holy shit, BLBL. What's the other L stand for? Backlog? Oh, live. I don't forget about that.
BLBL. Okay, but here's what we're going to do, Tucker. We're going to start the first game, and we're kicking it all the way back. We're going all the way back to when I logged this game as complete on July 28th, 2022. And Tucker, that game... Oh, Abby, I see now the chat's updating on OBS, so I see it now. Hi, Abby. The game we're talking about here, Tucker, is Game & Wario.
Oh, holy P.
Yeah, so we're going back in time for this one. But I've really become a massive Wario fan this year. I've always enjoyed WarioWare, right? But I feel like I was a kind of a peripheral observer to Wario until Gold started piquing my interest, and Get It Together piqued it further, and then us playing Mega Micro Games kept that peak rising. And then this year, it's like it's time to Wario it out. And I played, of course, Shake It, and I enjoyed Shake It. We played Smooth Moves and made one of the classic BLB videos of all time.
Yeah.
And so I figured...
every one of our videos is one of the classic BLB videos of all time.
That's actually good. Actually, Tucker, that's just a point. That's just a point. Because when everything is special, nothing's special. But...
yeah.
Game & Wario is special. Game & Wario is special. I like this game quite a bit, and here's what's interesting about it. It is not necessarily WarioWare, because you're not playing microgames, for the most part. This is where the gamer and sort of idea originates from, so you are playing microgames on your gamepad. But that, I think, is in the context of something larger. And so Game & Wario is actually more about minigames. And it's basically about...
What's the difference?
A microgame, seconds long. A minigame, you're playing for minutes. This is not a get in and get out. What it basically is here's a compilation. I don't know how many. I would say probably 14 mini games that are all much more fleshed out, that have various stages to them and progression and things. And it's less about the constant variety of a thing and a thing and a thing and a hoo-ha and a hoo-hee. It's about let's demonstrate various facets of the gamepad. And to that end, I think this is really, really a brilliant exploration of what that controller could do before Nintendo just decided, fuck it, we're not going to do anything with it.
Sure.
Because I think about this one game where you're basically playing as a spy. You're a PI, right? And your gamepad screen is your camera. And so you're looking through a viewfinder on the camera, but then on the TV, you're looking over across the street, and you're looking for a couple people you're supposed to photograph. But you're basically like on the...
Are they WarioWare characters?
No, they're just kind of goofy individuals.
Oh.
The WarioWare characters are all throughout this game, but the idea of this is basically I'm on the other side of the street. To get the closer view, I have to look through my camera lens. But if you're just looking at the TV, you can't see enough detail. If you're just looking at the gamepad, you're just too zoomed in. So it becomes sort of a push-pull of, okay, I'm going to scan for the person on the TV, and I'm going to pick up the gamepad and try to get close, and because I'm looking through this macro zoom lens. Basically, the whole point is the game uses the gamepad and the TV in conjunction in ways I've never seen the game do before. Another great example is multiplayer in this game, Tucker, involves a gamepad and nothing else for up to 5 players. And that is really, really clever because you end up passing the controller and you end up passively watching the TV as other people are playing, but you're still an active participant. So there's this game where on the gamepad you're a little guy and you're basically playing hide and seek. On the TV...
I'm always a little guy playing hide and seek.
That is a great point. But as someone not doing the hiding, you're looking on the TV to try to isolate them based on their behavior. And then at the end, you have to make a vote about who the real person was in the crowd.
Sure, it's just, probably not me. I'm not.
Yes, it's just all these very clever ideas of saying what can the gamepad do, what can asynchronous multiplayer provide, and it can provide a whole hell of a lot of really interesting bespoke concepts. Sure. And so that's what I love about Game & Wario.
I'm using bespoke again.
Bespoke. It's a great word. But yeah, I just think it's really clever how it exercises all of the gimmicks of that hardware while also providing that Wario charm. So Game & Wario is a great fucking game, and you should buy it before you can't anymore. Of course, now we've got more time because we understand the whole merging accounts to actually add funds to Wii U.
But I haven't merged this yet.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'll figure that out. But point being, this game costs a fucking arm and a leg physical, but it's $29.99 digital.
All right, chat. What should we do to Aiden's 3DS? He can't stop me. I am miles away, and I haven't. What? How should I bribe him? We can use this as what's the word? Oh, as a hostage.
As a hostage, I suppose you could.
Hostage situation.
You could break
What
my
if I
3DS.
deleted your save file for something?
I really wouldn't care, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No. No. Here's just a fun random question.
Yeah.
This is BLB Live. You know, we're throwing caution to the wind. Are there any games that you would be sad if you lost your save file on? Like, are there any games you not necessarily plan to revisit, but think you might go back and just like see what you did on that save file?
For the most part, no. I would be sad if I lost my Pokemon Sword and Shield save, because that has all of my Pokemon from Pokemon Y that could be transferred over. The rest are in home or bank, whatever the fuck the current one is. But that's probably the only one I really care to lose. It's all
that makes sense.
Yeah. But for the most part, the answer is really no.
But no, Abby actually makes an interesting point. Breath of the Wild is one that wouldn't necessarily matter to me because I think I did all the side quests. I did all the shrines. I got almost all the Korok seeds. But the fact is that like there's a few games like that even though I'm never gonna or not necessarily that I won't never replay the game, but I won't ever like want to restart because it like shows. Like Breath of the Wild would show that I started it on March 4th, 2017, and that like there's some sentimental value there, and even as far back as like the oldest game that I currently have that still has a save file from when I was a kid is like my Pokemon Black game, which has a 2010 save file start date on it. Like my trainer ID says that, and so I don't know. I find that interesting, but it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I get you. But yeah, I mean, it just doesn't hold much sentimental value for me, to be honest with you. Yeah. But I also have so few original saves left. Like, it'd be interesting, Tucker. Like, I have my original PS2 memory card. It would be interesting to just look at that and see what is on there. But I don't really care.
When the last time you played those games and stuff. Yeah, and the only one that I think is, like, a strong difference to me, and of course this is a little bit different because I've had so many computers, but if I could get my old Mac desktop and look at my first Minecraft world saves,
that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be something special.
Yeah. I suppose I just don't get sentimental in that way either, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I deleted every single photo I took between the years of, like, 2012 and 2019 the other day.
I remember you told me that, and I think that's a little bit ridiculous.
Like, I just don't want to be reminded of that time in my life. No. But we've getting a lot of shit in chat here. Tim, yes, you do see a Korok in the background. He's a very nice boy. I got all my little plushies on the shelf in the background here. Minecraft save would be very cool. Tucker, the chat agrees with you. Mob rule dictates that you're correct on this point.
What?
You look at all the people talking about fucking Minecraft.
Oh, mob rule.
Yeah, mob rule. Not Ja. Tucker, do you know who Ja Rule is?
I've heard the name.
Yeah, me too. Ja Rule is one of those people that I just know, like, he exists sort of in the ether. You know what I mean?
Ja Rule. I spelled it like King K. Rule. That's not real. It's spelled Jarule.
Ja Rule. That's not. It should be like K Rule.
I spelled it Jahrrool.
Hi, Arkwing. Also, hi, Daniel. Sorry, I kind of fucked up the chat. The chat wasn't actually refreshing on OBS, but now it is. So now I see everything. Let's go to my next game, Tucker. Because we got to keep it slipping and sliding. You know what I mean?
Do we know?
We got to keep it slipping and sliding. I'm really... Okay, journal. That's what I want to click on here. Yeah, here we go. Okay, next thing I want to talk about... Now, this is a real doozy for you, Tucker. And this, I'm just curious about on a promptual level.
Me?
Yeah, because the next game I want to talk about is a fan game. Do you play? Have you played any fan games?
The closest I would say is I played a Pokemon
ROM hack
fan game. Not necessarily ROM hack, but like one of the original games, like Pokemon Orange or.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
But there was a time in my life, like late middle school, where everyone was just figuring out that you could like download fake or like fan made Pokemon games on like your school iPad or your phone.
Yeah. And
I probably played one of those for a couple hours, but I don't really have any interest in fan games personally.
See, I think you should. And
okay.
And the reason I say that is because I used to be in your perspective. Like why should I really care? Ultimately, there's so many of quote unquote real games to play. You know what I mean? I'm like, If it's not official, why am I bothering? Thank you, Tim.
No.
We do rule. I'm just gonna affirm your compliment.
Yo.
But I beat Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit, and this made me do a complete fucking 180 in my mind, because Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit to me, Tucker, is as good as Sonic Mania, which in itself is sort of a fan game made by Christian Whitehead and Headcanon. Yes. The
officially published.
Officially published.
That's the difference.
But the difference,
available for purchase.
Right. But there is no difference in terms of the
press on physical card.
Sure. But here's what I'm saying, Tucker. In terms of quality of game,
of course.
In terms of fidelity, in terms of presentation, there is no difference between Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit and anything Sega's officially released for Sonic. Sure. It feels so good. What it is essentially is a full remake of the Game Gear game in the Sonic 3 and Knuckles engine, but it's far more than just a here's the zone from Game Gear, let's put it in a new engine, make it look prettier. There are fundamental changes to stage transitions and new gimmick areas and all kinds of stuff. It is a really, really robust collection of new ideas, which I didn't really anticipate in this remake. And I just didn't anticipate how precise the level design is. I played it in about 2 hours. It's free to download from Game Jolt. If you have even a passing interest in classic Sonic, I really think this is a must-play. I think it is one of my favorite games of this year for sure. Definitely check out Sonic Triple Trouble. Sure. 16-bit.
Now, this is not the deciding factor, but I am just curious. Is Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit, does it have a backlog page?
It does.
Interesting. Okay, well, good for them.
It does. See, now you sick fuck, you can
now I have to play it.
You can log it. You can log it, so it's worth
I specifically said that was not the deciding factor.
Well, Tucker, we know why you asked the question. It's that simple. We know
you know me better than myself.
I do know you better than yourself. My audio's peaking a little bit. I don't want to do that anymore. There we go. That's better. Sorry about peaking my audio. That was my bad.
You're not piquing my interest.
Oh, Tucker, you fucking salty boy. You're a salty boy. And the audience knows it. I know it. Let's talk next about Halo 3 ODST. Now, Tucker, I have finally completed Halo 3 ODST, meaning that I have now finished, at least once, every first-person shooter Halo game. Now, I really would like to play the Wars games. I have a passing interest in sort of the top-down Spartan Assault, Spartan Strike ones. But yes, Abby, you were right. ODST is awesome. Now, I think that this game, for me in my list, is sort of in the mid tier of my Halo list. The reason being is because the game structure is quite interesting. It's basically quote unquote open world, as you're playing as this ODST who lands in New Mombasa, and you're trying to find your teammates who are all scattered.
An original dick-sucking trainer.
Great point. But the problem is that the open world feels open in the way that like Twilight Princess's Hyrule Field feels open, which is to say
it's open because it's open, not because there's a reason for it.
Right, there's open because there's space to walk around in, but not things to populate the space.
Yeah.
And for me, that just sort of brings the pacing of the game down a little bit. But basically, the idea is you go to crime scenes. You go to basically where your teammates were last seen. You pick up an object. It might be like a broken S7 sniper rifle or something, and it triggers a memory. And you basically play a mission explaining where that teammate was and how they got to that point. Sure. And those missions are all excellent. They are archetype, typically Halo, but what makes them special, and Abby says it here, is the atmosphere of this game. The soundtrack is fantastic, and the fact that you're an ODST, not a Spartan, is really important, because ODSTs are just your regular Joes. And the feeling of going up... The feeling about going up against Covenant when you're not like Spartan enhanced as Master Chief is really great. It makes even a grunt feel more imposing, because you're a lot weaker. And that dynamic, I think, really just makes traditional Halo gunplay feel just that little bit more interesting. Then you combine that sort of the Halo Reach style of storytelling of, these are simple characters, but they're well defined, and they're in the context of this sort of simple but effective narrative, and it's really easy to get sort of lost in them, because you just have great performances too. You got Nathan Fillion as Buck, who then returns in Halo 5. So
He was in the Suicide Squad.
I think that's where most people know him from.
Yeah, he was Arm Fall Off guy.
But
No,
yes,
the Detachable Kid. Sorry,
you're
no,
right.
the TDK.
TDK.
God, that's a great movie. You ever think about that movie? I've been thinking about that movie recently.
I actually, to be honest with you, Tucker, don't think about that often, but I would like to rewatch it.
I think that movie's phenomenal.
It's a great
Fucking
movie.
Peacemaker's also great. Jesus Christ, James Gunn is the best part of the DCEU.
Tucker, we're not here to say such incendiary things right now.
Oh, sorry.
We're gonna say incendiary things about video games. We're saving the pop culture takes for later. But Abby, yes.
We is a strong term.
Okay. Yes, Abby, I also found the non-Spartan parts of Halo lore to be quite interesting, and it's what I really would like to see. And I was saying this to Sarah in our Discord. I just want to see 343 now explore more non-Master Chief storylines. Now, I know they were scared off with how the Team Osiris was sort of received in Halo 5 Guardians.
Yeah, notoriously.
Actually, notoriously, yeah. So I just hope that they try it again with characters that don't feel like they're shoehorned into someone else's story. But ODST, believe it or not, more Halo. I love it.
Congratulations.
Next game, Tucker.
Now I'm looking at your games that I've completed 2022 list.
Yes.
Am I correct in the analysis here that ODST is the only Halo game you've played this year? Then. I mean, I know you played some in multiplayer Infinite and like probably dicked around the open world, but you haven't done a playthrough of any other Halo game this year?
No.
Because the top of the list would be filled with them.
That's a good point. No, I mean, I have played quite a bit of Halo Infinite this year. Sure. But no. Halo 3 ODST is the only campaign Halo game I finished this year. But Tucker, let me hit you with the back-to-back here. I'm going to call this the Roll 7 Rock Block. Because I beat 2 Roll 7 games that I think are really interesting to put in conversation. That is Ollie Ollie World and Roller Drum. Now, I will note, I got a review copy of Roller Drum. I got the game fwee early, so I should just point that out.
Sure.
But Roll 7 is just becoming such an interesting force in the games industry, and I really don't think people are paying enough attention to the level of talent that has to be incubated to put out Ollie Ollie World and Roller Drum within months of each other and have them both be, in my opinion, some of the very best games of the year. Now, Tim, I do remember when people thought Master Chief was going to be in Smash Brothers, and I would have been very happy with that. Would I say they're on a roll, Wii Star? I would say that. I wonder who Wii Star is. But they just have a sort of a, what's the word? A penchant? Is that the word?
Penchant.
A penchant for taking really mechanically satisfying games about characters on wheels, as actually the developers of Roller Drum were saying to me when I chatted with them. They've got this ability to take this core idea of the momentum of being in constant motion and pulling off tricks, this sort of Tony Hawk pro skater ethos, and combine it with this incredible world building that is so different in Roller Drum and in Ollie Ollie World, but sort of united by the same principle of like this otherworldly extreme sports landscape. In the context of Ollie Ollie World, it's about celebrating skate culture. In the context of Roller Drum, it's about about a dystopian government. And
classic.
Right. They're very... Tim, by the way...
Only the best games.
Tim, by the way, giving us a very good grammar lesson. Thank you, Tim. I'm not going to say the word anymore, though, because I feel self-conscious. Penchant. A penchant.
You just said it.
That sounded fun, you know? I like to let my inhibitions go on backlog banter.
Is that true?
I don't think he's 100% right, but I don't think any of us are 100% right on this topic here.
Okay, well, I just looked up the word and I pressed a little bubble that tells you how it sounds, and it sounds like penchant. But I think it's funny to think of it as penchant.
I did too. Bien sûr. Tim, I used to take French. Stand down. But no, I just think that these two games are amazing mechanical experiences that are layered on top by these sort of play spaces that are so rich with world building and thematic resonance. Roller Drum in particular is so interesting because everybody's talking about how great the gameplay feels. And it feels fucking awesome when you're pulling off headshots and flips and grinds and everything. But when you really start to dig into the narrative and that environmental storytelling, you gain a completely different appreciation for the world that Roll 7 has created. So, again, in the interest of time, I'm not going to go super deep into these games, but I really do think that they are two of the strongest games of this year, bar none. I'm working on long-form explorations of these that you'll see later, and you'll see more of my thoughts in that context. But I just think that Roll7 is an amazing studio, and having had the pleasure to talk to many people from that team over Ollie Ollie's pre-release cycle and then Rollerdromes, they are just really passionate and interesting creatives. And everybody should be playing Roll7 games. If you're not playing Roll7 games, you're not paying attention. So check them out. And
I'm not paying attention.
Tucker, I really think that you would love Rollerdrome.
I could.
And it's a very digestible game. Couple hours, you can beat it in a couple hours, and there's a lot of like assists and things, so you can change the game speed, the difficulty. You can actually, as I did for my replay, you can turn off like the need to have a certain number of medals or challenges completed to move on. Basically, you can sculpt the experience to what you're looking for and blast through it if you want, engage in the narrative if you want, go straight for gameplay, score chase, whatever you want to do. They're so simple but so flexible and deep. Sure. I think they're incredible games. And you guys bought Rollerdrome, so I'd be really curious to hear your thoughts before the year ends, because I really do think that in particular, I really think is going to be a Game of the Year contender. So
that'd be really interesting.
Yeah. I think it might be a little bit of a situation where Rollerdrome is so superb that it's going to eat up some of the mind share for Ollie Ollie World when we get to that time of the year. But I do think that both games are deserving of acclaim, industry-wide acclaim. Yeah. Abby, you should be paying attention. You're another one that would love Rollerdrome, and it's on PC. I know you're a PC gentleman.
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 He's too busy playing Pokemon Sword for some reason.
Tucker, I played like 70 hours of Pokemon Sword.
Yeah, so have I. That doesn't mean I'm playing it after I didn't like it and in our year of our Lord 2022.
You know what, Tucker?
It's all about context.
Yeah, Franz, you should play Rollerdrome. I think everybody in the chat should play Rollerdrome, except for Tim, because Tim only plays on Switch, and you can't get on Switch. But yes, Abby, it is on PC. Tucker, the next game I want to talk about here is an interesting cat. This is a game called...
Not so interesting.
They're all very interesting, but this one has a really unique story behind it. I hate being Game Pass, Greg, but I wish it was on Game Pass. Not even on Xbox right now, Franz. So, no Game Pass for you in this instance. And this next game, Tucker, Post Void, is also not on Game Pass. But Post Void is a really interesting boomer shooter, but in the loosest sense of the term. Basically what it is think of the framework of the boomer shooter, the classic FPS, but put it on Mondo steroids and run it through like a fucking coat of Dr. Seuss and Salvador Dali and Francisco Goya art, and just make it really grungy and weird. And that's how you get Post Void. It is crazy. The game was made by these two guys. I got the opportunity to interview them. And basically, they made the game for themselves, sort of as just like a little, as a cool down, but between other game dev projects. And they said, this game is pretty fucking cool. We got to get this out to people. Yeah. And they did. And you can get this game for $2.99, which is a steal for how good it is.
Golly.
Yeah, the moment-to-moment gunplay here is really phenomenal. It's all about hitting headshots and moving fast, because you hold this glass idol, which is your health, and it's draining constantly. Excuse me. And the only way to refill it is to kill people. And so it becomes this just death sprint. I beat the game in 8 minutes. That's all it takes. But it took me probably 4 hours of gameplay to be able to do it. It's just this cacophonous, crazy, violent catharsis. You really owe it to yourself if you enjoy shooters and you enjoy interesting independent titles that take sort of established gameplay formulas and riff on them. You owe it to yourself to try Post Void. It is, the barrier to entry really could be only $3 lower physically. So,
yeah, no, that's interesting. Where'd you play it?
I played this one, Tucker, on my personal computer.
Oh no!
But it is coming to console this month, also for $2.99.
Okay, for the same price. That was the next question.
Yes.
The logical extension there.
Yeah. So give it a shot.
Yeah.
Assuming you have nothing to say about Post Void, I'm going to move on to the next game. And this, Tucker, is a doozy. I think that this episode is full of amazing games. But I think that there are two doozies. And this is the first of those doozies.
Shit. Finally.
And Tucker, this is a little game that came out in 2008 from Skip Limited, published by Nintendo, only in Japan on the Wii. Of course, I'm talking about Captain Rainbow. Now, Tucker, what do you know about Captain Rainbow?
The narrative around this game, at least in the cultural sphere as far as I'm aware, is just that it's cool, but no one knows about it because it was never translated.
Right.
So.
Now, it was not translated by Nintendo, but it was translated by this group called Kirameki Translations, who translated the game but couldn't make a patch. So they made like a text document of here's a translation. And another guy who goes by Mark Ass said, hey, I can make your translation into a patch. And now, through the power of very dedicated fans, you can play Captain Rainbow in English. And I think you owe it to yourself to play Captain Rainbow in English because, to me, Tucker, this is one of the very best Nintendo games ever.
Yeah.
And I think you would be really compelled by it because it's about Nintendo history. It's about arriving on this island full of forgotten secret Captain Rainbow top secret feature, Abby. Yes, it's on its way. It's coming soon. And it's going to be somewhere you would never expect. I'm very excited to share it with you. Hey,
not
Andrew.
Backlog Banter, though.
Not Backlog Banter. It's actually bizarre where this feature ended up. And you'll see it soon. You missed 4 Abram games, Andrew. Yes, we're just doing some Backlog Banter. Justice for Captain Rainbow, Tim, I agree. And the reason we need justice for this game is because there's sort of the gut level appeal of the game is about Nintendo history and weird characters. We're not talking Little Mac and Birdo. We're talking characters from Famicom Disk System exclusive titles.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't go any fucking deeper than Captain Rainbow goes. And then there's this kind of visceral appreciation of the game wherein it's crass and weird. You meet Tracy from Link's Awakening, but she has enormous tits and she's rubbing them in every cutscene. The game is crass and peculiar, but underneath that exterior is a game about flawed people who you have to help grow and mature. And over the course of the games, you take these people that just have such rough edges and abrasive personalities and humongous flaws, and you come to learn about them. And tits. Humongous tits. And you come to humanize them, and you help them grow. And there's something really wholesome about the game. And really affecting about the sort of emotional arc you travel in the game. And I really don't want to say more than that because I'm speaking to my closest compatriots here. I know you guys will play it. I know you will, and I think you should. Because it's just, the narrative is lovely, but then you pair it with what is sort of I'm going to say Animal Crossing light structure of day-night cycles, everybody on the island has scripted behaviors that coincide with the clock and everything. And so there's that sort of similar spirit. Now, that system has been in Skip's past games, which is kind of what it pulls from more than Animal Crossing. But the sort of the vibes and the fun of Animal Crossing's clock is here, too. So if you like Animal Crossing, I think it's worth giving this game a shot. If you like a well-told story, it's worth giving it a shot. If you're just curious about Nintendo's history, it's such a risky and subversive chapter of it that I really think it's worth the effort. It's not a very long game. You can beat it in probably 10 hours. And I was just floored by it. It's a game I wanted to play for a long time, and I finally did, and I loved it. Do you think Tucker, gun to your head, do you think you would actually want to try Captain Rainbow?
Oh, absolutely. Everything you said there completely speaks to me, and I the only reason I haven't is the accessibility. I don't know how to get a Wii game working on my computer. I don't know how to get a fan translation. I've never, frankly, to be honest, I've never done the research. I'm sure I could figure it out, but that barrier has stopped me from even trying.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I certainly wouldn't be one to tell you that if you just Google Captain Rainbow fan translation, you'll find a Internet Archive link with a pre-patched ROM. I wouldn't tell you that. No. I wouldn't tell you that information. But yes, bring Captain Rainbow and Dash and the Giant to Switch. Tim, God fucking damn it, would I be so happy about that. I will say that I'm not crazy about...
Not very good, right?
I'm not crazy about Dashin, but I would like to try it in the context of being able to read the text, because I have it in Japanese.
Oh, fair, yeah.
Now it is a game that is not predicated on your ability to read the text. and Miyamoto actually designed it to be sort of intuitive without the dialogue. But nonetheless, if I had the full experience, I might like it more. But yes, I fucking love those games on Switch. Jesus Christ. Franz, I don't think they're going to release this in North America by next Tuesday, so I think you can just go ahead and figure that out. Abby, again, don't look up Captain Rainbow fan translation and click on the Internet Archive link and download the file. Don't do that. John Cartwright, I believe he did do a video on it, Tim. I actually haven't watched that because I'm working on my own thing, and when I'm working on a project, I like to usually get all my thoughts out and then go reflect on what other people have to say. So I'll be watching that. There's this there's a spoiler in the hashtag for the stream, hashtag Justice for Joe. We'll get there in a minute too. That's not one of the megatons, but
I thought it said Justice for Joe.
Shout out to Joe Wainwright.
Joe Wainwright. God, what a king.
Friend of the channel. Actually started the channel in 2 videos. Cyberfuck and Green Knight.
The Green Knight review, that's right, yeah. Oh, and also the Sonic ranking, yeah, everyone loved that one.
Uh-oh. Joe, you want to record that tonight?
Oh, God.
Joe's appearance Cyberpunk video is awesome.
Holy crap! You remember that, Avi?
Well, Avi is a dire ride cyberpunker.
He's a diorama.
By the way, Avi, how fucking good does that expansion for Cyberpunk look? Holy Christ! How fucking good does that look? I can't wait for that. 2020, Tucker. 2023 is a year that has a lot of exciting games, but for me, the Cyberpunk expansion is at the top of that fucking list.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to say about Captain Rainbow?
No, I haven't played the game.
No, I just didn't know if you wanted to share any musings.
What is a good trend from today?
Now, the next game, Tucker. We're down to the last 2, and this is the real fucking humdinger. I'm gonna take a minute to wet my whistle before I talk about it.
Sure. God. Me when I'm drinking water. Good.
Immortality, Tucker Hazel.
Oh, Christ.
From Sam Barlow is the best game that's come out in 2022. If I wasn't such a fucking shill for Nintendo, it'd probably be my game of the year. Inside of you, there are 2 wolves. There's the wolf that likes Kirby Forgotten Land a whole hell of a lot, and then there's the wolf inside of you that played 10 hours of Immortality in like 36 hours because you just couldn't get a fucking enough of it. 2023 is going to be a crazy year, by the way, but we're talking about Immortality right now. So talk amongst yourselves, you must. But...
Well, they are. Look at them. They're a lot of messages.
But your spiritual navigator is navigating you into the best game of the year, so you might want to listen. That's all I'm going to say, because there will be a test later. Immortality is a game that I'm going to say very little about, because I just want you to play it. And Tucker, this is a game that you will love. I say that with no reservations. The game...
Say about a lot of things.
Right, but this... And Andrew will testify here, and if... Daniel's still in the chat. He'll testify also. People are saying that this is an FMV game, and it is. But that's so reductive. The premise of this title is that you're given what is called a film restoration project about the 3 films that this young actress named Maria Marcel starred in. And the game just begins with you listening to her on a talk show, and then all of a sudden you're thrust into this web of intrigue, let's say, wherein you are looking in the frames to try to find secrets and to try to find things to basically match cut between. If you click on a glass, like a wine glass, who's comparing it to Night Trap, Andrew? You're being quite silly. I'm just saying, no, FMV is a genre. There's more FMV games than Night Trap. But this is better than basically any FMV game, as far as I'm concerned. Except for maybe the Star Wars.
Have you ever played any other one?
No, not really. But I've certainly loined my what there is to loin about them. That's Sega CD era. But no, you might click on a wine glass in one frame, and it's going to match cut to a wine glass or another glass or something thematically related in a completely other shot from a completely other movie. Because this is a restoration of 3 projects. So basically, you're this detective on what appears to be an aimless quest, match cutting between 3 different films, but you slowly start to realize that something is amiss and something happened to Marissa.
Yeah.
And the goal of the game is to figure out what. It's
Sure.
It's very simple. But when you start to realize what happens when you rewind certain footage, and what happens when you pay attention to some sound cues, and what happens when you start to notice patterns in what happens when you click on certain things in a frame, the game just finds layers of complexity that are unfathomable to me.
Sure.
On a production level. They made, basically, Tucker, they made 3 feature films twice. And then they interwove them throughout this patchwork restoration project.
Sure.
And the result of that is an experience that it could be anywhere from, 2 to 3 hours to 12 hours of player-driven exploration. And if you have an appreciation for games and film, you're going to be in awe of the construction, but you're also going to be horrified by the material that unfolds in front of you.
Sure.
Because they show stuff in this game, Tucker, that I genuinely did not think that the ESRB let you show in a game. And I'm not kidding about that.
And they put it on Game Pass, right?
Yeah, it is.
So Phil Spencer must have sat down, watched those horrible bits, and be like, "Hey, we need this."
Yeah, it is. It is remarkable, and that's really all I want to say about it.
Sure.
I really think, Tucker, that you are going to love this game.
No, I don't doubt that I will, and it's certainly one that, for its acclaim, for its unique use of interactivity as a video game, I'm very excited to try. This is the kind of different format storytelling and subversion of what you expect out of interactivity that I don't feel like people give enough credit for video games. And frankly, there's not a ton of video games that try something this subversive with gameplay that get as much critical acclaim, that do it very well. There's I try a lot of interactive story games. I try a lot of simple, more artistic games, and they don't always hit. But this one's getting the critical acclaim, and from what you're telling me about sort of uncovering layers of narrative, it's absolutely one that that I expect to enjoy. And from what you're saying, it's kind of how I feel like I felt last year about 12 Minutes. Because that game has such flexibility in approach and so many layers of storytelling, but also that game got controversy out the wazoo, and this is not luckily does not have that problem to deal with.
No, it just has incredible critical acclaim. I believe it's one of the highest rated games of the year, and it is the first independent game to ever get a 10 from Edge, which is so fucking deserved. You got to play it.
Yeah.
We got some stuff in chat here I want to address. I wanted to make sure we had our diatribe before we did. Andrew, it is there's a lot of nudity. There's also a lot of other stuff that I think is a little bit more shocking than nudity, but also sometimes the context.
I've never seen it.
No, well, Tucker, you will see a lot of them in this game. I'll just say that much. Franz, I almost don't even want to dignify. Is it better than Immortals Phoenix Rising with the response? But the answer is yes. They're both on Game Pass, so you can't compare them. No Daisy Ridley. Andrew, you dirty boy. You just want to see Daisy. You just want to see Daisy Ridley's Hooters.
Won't someone please the children? not Phil Spencer. Not him.
Tim said 2 things interesting. First thing, do people remember when they said Game Pass coming to Switch? Yes, and I still am not convinced that something like that wouldn't happen. I think that Microsoft just wants ubiquity with all their services. So it's weird because Xbox Game Pass is like a first-party entity. But think about all the subscription services that are on PlayStation. You're excited for Pentiment, you big boy.
Is that the only first-party game they have in the entire year, or am I losing my mind?
No, and there's Scorn, and there's...
That's a first-party game?
Yeah. It's at least exclusive.
Yeah, that doesn't...
Yeah, but also, but Xbox is under such fucking crazy scrutiny about this semantics point when, like, Nintendo gets all these Square Enix games and all these third-party exclusives, and people are like, look at how great Nintendo's year is.
Sure.
Same principle must apply across the board. They also have High on Life, Tucker, which I think looks morally repellent. Apparently demoed really, really well at Gamescom, so that might be a big deal for them.
I can't wait for that game to come out. Not only because, from at first blush, I was interested in that game, but because I can't wait to see the convergence of high critical acclaim and possibly actually good gameplay and game design. Something, presuming I don't know anything about the game, and the just some of the worst internet controversy I've ever seen put on a game.
Yeah,
this and the fucking the game with the what's the game with the trailer that everyone was shitting on with the funny
Forspoken.
For shits and giggles. Those two games have had it rough.
Yes.
Lately, and I think it'd be funny for them both to be good because that would probably shut people up, but maybe not.
It definitely will shut people up. The thing about Forspoken that I actually find interesting, and I think that all the discourse around the game ignores, is that Luminous Productions is a Japanese team.
Mm-hmm.
What we hear is what happened after the game was localized.
Sure.
What I'm really interested in is how accurate is the localization to the spirit of the Japanese title.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, it sounds like a Marvel movie. It sounds like a Marvel movie X, Y, and Z. Well, that's Western. So I'd be really interested how different the tonal experience is if you're playing.
It's also possible that they tried to emulate the popularity of the comedic style of, because I mean, even though they're not Japanese movies, American superhero films, the most cinematic universe, is still popular across the globe. So it's possible that that's what they were going for, and maybe people in Japan find it a little more appealing because it's more of a novelty.
Yeah.
But that,
we'll see.
The memes were good, though. The memes were good.
The memes are very good. My friend Jonathan Holmes has been redubbing it, like, constantly with different voices. It's worth checking out his thread. His handle is at non-Trotsky. Like, he did it as David Hayter's Solid Snake. He's done it as various actors. It's really funny. It's a great thread. We got some things in chat here to address. Wonder what Gary would have contributed to that game. I don't know, because there's several writers, so I guess I don't really listen to Kind of Funny Games Daily anymore, so I don't really know if he's ever spoken on what he wrote for the game, but I guess we'll find out. I'll be a Rick and Forty fan, says that High on Life seems really cool.
Now, I just want to analyze the QWERTY keyboard. F and M are nowhere near each other, so that was a grave error on your part there, Avi.
Tim, Avi is correct. This is the first ever live BLB. And Franz says that Grounded full release this month, technically.
Oh, god damn it. Holy crap. Oh, wow. Yeah, releasing early access really killed that game, didn't it? Well, I mean, we'll see. If it gets bigger pop when it comes out, but, like, I haven't heard anyone talking about that game.
Yeah, but ultimately, like, when you release an early access, Tucker, Halo Infinite released in early access, but they didn't call it early access. What I mean to say is, releasing a game in early access or at your 1.0 build means basically nothing anymore. Yeah. Basically, Grounded's official release is just a major content update, so it doesn't really make a difference in my opinion. Yeah, you can say what if I'm not using a QWERTY keyboard, but you are using a QWERTY keyboard.
Yeah, you motherfucker. I don't even know how you would get a non-QWERTY keyboard. I want to see if that exists. Non-QWERTY.
Oh boy! Don't look at chat. Don't look at chat. Don't look at chat.
I can't even see it.
Good.
6 non-QWERTY keyboard layouts. Mental flaws.
40 fans, where you at? Franz, they're in the chat with you. Don't be racist against keyboards. Wouldn't dream of it.
Okay, so can I look at the chat now?
Don't look at what Andrew asked.
I feel like I should.
Don't.
Hey, people in chat, should I look at the chat? I'm doing it. Okay, did it. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Well,
you old so and so. Hey, Deadshard. Yeah. Thanks for chatting.
Holy crap, it's Ivy. It's my friend Ivy. How's it going, Ivy?
Thanks for chatting, Ivy.
Oh yeah.
Tim also put something, but now it's way up in chat because we actually have an active chat tonight, which is super, super fun.
Well, I can scroll back because I'm on my computer. Here's a little bit inside baseball, guys.
Yeah.
Discord hates Abram's webcam.
Yeah.
So I can't see him. It's just the two little swirling squares. So I'm actually watching the stream in order to see him move. So he's delayed by like 7 seconds for me.
Right.
But it also means I can look at the chat. What did Tim say?
He was talking about how the rumor that Illumination's delaying the Mario movie again.
Oh, well, considering we haven't heard anything about that, like for such a huge movie, you would have expected a trailer to have come out like in the summer for a Christmas release, or at least summer.
Ivy, what are you studying? I'll tell you all the answers.
No, I don't think. As far as I know, last time I talked to her about her college, viticulture. Viniculture?
I know everything there is to know about Mr. Mortensen.
I don't understand that joke.
Viticulture Mortensen. You ever seen a fucking Viggo Mortensen movie?
Oh, yeah! Crimes of the Future, one of the best movies of the year.
Yeah,
God, that movie would make your like skin turn inside out.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I can't watch it. He also in classic Quest for the Bestest film, Green Book.
So true. So true.
Reminds me of those summer 2021 direct reactions. I'm hoping we can do a direct reaction soon. I'd love that.
Wait, what happened to the 2021 direct reaction?
I don't know, just like us being jocular.
Would be funny thing? I haven't actually rewatched that one.
I don't know. Are you looking forward to Atomic Heart? Yeah, I think Atomic Heart looks fucking awesome. I can't wait for Atomic Heart.
I vaguely remember a trailer for that.
It's been delayed to early 2023 because the developer, I believe, is Russian, which I'm sure is not making it any easier to finish that game and get it released. But it's just awesome. Some people are saying Bioshock inspired. I can't really speak to that. But it's just this really artistically distinct and interesting. Like, the art direction of this game is incredible. This is really just cool narrative shooters. Check it out.
Yeah, you know what else is? It's Scorn, but you said that game makes
Scorn makes... Scorn, here's the thing about Scorn. I'm going to play it. I've come around to that fact. I think I'm going to play it. Because it looks distinct, and there's something alluring about that. But at the same time, it gives me the heebly-jeeblies.
Now, I was only familiar with H.R. Geiger stuff, or as a Giger, I don't fucking know. Insofar as I'd seen Alien and Aliens.
Sure.
I have now watched all 6 of the Alien movies.
Yeah.
Which I like all of them. I think they're all good. They're different degrees of good. But when you get to Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and H.R. Giger is back, like doing art direction, there's some crazy shit in those movies.
Yeah.
I love those movies visually. So I'm interested in that game. We'll see how it fits into the, at least from my perspective, busy fall schedule. But I can't even really.
Yeah, and my thing is just the more I see it, the more I learn about it. I'm like, yeah, this is
trying something here.
This is the thing where like my personal taste is at cross purposes with this game, but they are so like that atmosphere they're creating is so distinct and so effective that I'm going to play it regardless.
Yeah. Just like Banjo-Kazooie.
Just like Banjo-Kazooie, and both horrify me in different ways.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just remembering our Xbox presentation reaction in the summer where we said, "Is this a new Banjo-Kazooie?"
Sure, that's a God Tucker. That a fucking funny reaction.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
The Road. I'm not a big Cormac fan, Andrew, but I'm willing to give it a shout.
Isn't McCormack they do spices?
Yes. Banjo-Tooie for Switch Online. Please give me Donkey Kong 64 first, Tim, and then we got you a deal.
I agree with both of you.
I do know French. If it helps you, Ivy, I got a 2 on my AP Calculus test, so I'd be more than happy to field any questions you have.
What, a 4?
Out of 5.
Oh, that's worse.
Yes. And Tim, to circle back to the yes, I got a 2. That's we don't have to have. I got a 5 on 2 histories, and I got a 5 on history and English, and a 4 on history and a 4 in English. So I got good scores. stand down, everybody.
When was the last time when did Wave Race come out? I still haven't played that on Switch Online. You and I should play some Wave Race.
Wave Race, yeah, Wave Race is fun.
We should play. Do you want to stream Rave Race this weekend?
No, because Splatoon comes out this weekend.
Oh.
We'll stream Splatoon this weekend if you want to.
Okay.
And it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
We get all these bozos in chat to join us, and we make a whole lot. It'd be a ton of fun. Yeah. Stand down, easy there, Colin.
Maybe we can play with FND. Foolish Nintendo dude.
Thank you for comparing me to Colin Moriarty, Andrew. I think that's quite a compliment. Tim, to answer because what we've been having this entire time since when we read out your comment, I'm not too concerned about the Mario movie being delayed. I don't give a fuck, to be honest with you. I don't give a fuck about the Mario movie. When's the last time, Tucker, that you watched an Illumination Entertainment movie and said, God damn it, that's the stuff right there? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I watched Min Rise of Gru on opening day, yeah.
I saw a meme talking about my new favorite genre of memes of people taking clips of of fucking Jordan Peterson and cutting him every word, so he's stitched together to saying horrific shit.
What?
And he's got one talking about how he's attracted to the minions that I saw today. It is so funny.
Oh god.
Yes, Abby. You're based as usual, Abby, you're based. Your opinions are based. Don't care about the Mario movie, you're based. Based, not cringe. Last game to talk about, Tucker, and then we're going to talk quickly about our Pokemon thoughts. This one goes out to Jason. I'm going to add him on Twitter right now. And we're going to send saying Jason. We're talking about when we actually
Jason out in the chat. What the heck?
Yeah,
Get in there early. Get another viewer. 7. Make that 6 watching now with 7 watching now. You know what I'm saying?
Get in our live stream. We're gonna talk Pokemon just for you. Set it all in caps so he knows that it's serious. I almost saw Minions on $3 movie Saturday, but it was too hot to leave home. I saw some theaters got shut down with the police on $3 movie Saturday.
Yeah. National Cinema Days was an interesting experiment.
Yeah, we'll see. But Tucker, the last game I want to talk about involves a little bit of a narrative.
Uh-oh. I don't like narrative games.
That's actually a double entendre because it's The Last of Us Part 1 and there's a narrative in the game. There's a narrative as to how I came to play it.
Sure.
If it's shut down by the police, yeah, because people are just so fucking rambunctious. But yeah, my PS5, as people who are in the community, which is all of you guys know, was fucked. And basically, the more research I did into it, I was really dragging my feet because I called Sony. I talked about this in Discord a little bit. I called Sony like, hey, can you repair my PS5? And they said, hey, you're out of warranty, so that'll be $200, please. Which I was willing to pay. But then I got cold feet as I started reading more and more threads. Jason's here, let's fucking go. Jason, we're getting to Pokemon as soon as I'm done with The Last of Us. But they were like, it's going to be $200. But so many of the threads online about this issue say that it is such an invisible issue that most of the time the testers will look at your PS5 and say there's nothing wrong with it and send it back. And so you get unchanged hardware, or you get quote unquote fixed hardware that relapses and has the problem again.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in a position where I'm paying a $200 repair multiple times.
Yeah.
And it didn't have a disk drive. So I was like, I'm going to repair faulty, unoptimal hardware to the tune of $200 for it to maybe not even be fixed. Not really. So I bought a new PS5 with a disk drive. The old one I am in the process of selling to Martin under the explicit understanding that he needs to repair it. So I'm not going to charge him very much money.
Martin, classic BLB video interrupter.
Classic BLB video co-host. He talked about Sora with us also.
That's great. Classic guy you might have seen opening the door and leaving.
Yes. So basically, I am so happy to have a fixed PS5.
No, a normal PS5.
Right, a normal PS5. A functional PS5.
Yes, that's the word you're looking for.
You had to send your OG Switch to have Nintendo fix it twice, at least to fix it for free.
Wow.
Yeah. You're probably under warranty. I know also Nintendo are kind of cognizant of their hardware issues and will like repair Joy-Con out of warranty for free or whatever. Sony doesn't give a fuck. Sony doesn't give a fuck about their customer right now. So like just $200 or shut up. So I said, okay, what if I gave you more than that? And I did. Last of Us Part 1 though, Tucker. I have just gotten to the point of leaving with just Joel and Ellie. Mm-hmm. So Tess is no longer part of my little pod anymore. It's just Joel and Ellie.
He's dead.
Yes. I didn't want to spoil it. I don't know because now people are playing part 1 maybe for the first time, but she's dead. Yes. The best history in the history of DS10 actually really wasn't. But 2 points about The Last of Us Part 1.
Sorry, Abby.
See, Abby doesn't have a fucking PlayStation. He's going to play it on PC. Abby, this all happens in the first 90 minutes of the game.
Wait, when is that game even confirmed to come to PC? I'm sure it will.
It's confirmed to come to PC at a later date.
Oh, okay.
That's why I don't know.
But you'll forget this in the next fucking 8 to 10 months, 8 to 12 business days.
And Abby, this really is this is like the first major plot point. Well, that's not true. The very first major plot point of the game made me cry.
That someone else dies.
Don't say it. I'm speaking generalities for the sake of.
Tell me about this fucking game.
I love The Last of Us, especially Part 2, and we've gone on at length. Part 2 really kicked off BLB in a major way.
Our first gaming video, yeah,
I think so, and it was a revelatory experience, and we said that, or you said, and I just took your verbiage because I think it's so apt that it makes the first game look like a crayon drawing. Yeah. But we're fucking dumb as bricks because Last of Us Part 1 might not have the sort of subversion. I agree with you, by the way, Andrew. 2/1. It might not have the sort of layered subversion and sort of gameplay refinement, but it is such a masterfully told narrative. I knew it was going to happen, and I was crying in the beginning. And I think that playing this game with the context of what happens in Part 2 makes it even more sort of hopeless. And it puts a different sort of pall over the entire experience. Knowing where Joel and Ellie end up.
Yeah.
And so revisiting the game in this order is really fascinating. Being like, aha, I know how this all ends, and it doesn't end well for either of you.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
So interesting. I about that. That put a really interesting sort of patina over my entire experience. And then you
patina.
It's the right word to use. Don't worry about it. I can do with a scoot.
Green or brown film on the surface of bronze or similar metals.
God damn it, Tim! Couldn't we all do with a Scooby snack? But it is just so powerful. That's the lady from Smash Brothers?
You're missing a number of vowels in there somewhere.
Jason just says Koraidon. We're getting to Koraidon, and I'm going to say Jason 5 minutes or less, so stick around. But yeah, it's such a powerful narrative experience, and goddammit, Tucker, there is nothing in video games, period, that fills my fucking gut with the same fear as facing a clicker. Like, what Naughty Dog did just, like, triggers my fear response on, like, such an acute level. Even when you have a shiv and you're going up to one and you're sneaking up and they're holding still and then they go... You know? I can't do it right now because my throat's got some phlegm in it. I would actually throw up if I tried to do that right now.
I don't even... Frankly, I don't remember what sounds clicker. I go...
The clicker sounds like the Predator, and I want to write a piece about this. The relationship, the sort of parallel between the Predator and the clicker, I think is something that would be cool to discuss. But the combat is just so fucking meaty and gross. And Part 1 takes it to another level. Of the AI is improved. I don't really know how true that really is. We'll see as I get deeper into the game. But the level of fidelity, I was playing the iconic sequence in the museum after you said it now, after Tess dies and you're fighting your way out. I headshot at a guy with my revolver. And you literally see pieces of his skull and his brain fly outside of his head. And he, like, collapses to the ground. And you go over and look at his body, and I literally said out loud, Jesus Christ. The level of detail in this game...
You can headshot.
The level of detail in this game, Tucker, goes beyond even the brutality of part 2.
Sure, yeah. I'm sure it does.
I really have no interest in wading into the whole worth $70, not worth $70 thing. But what I will say is that for me personally... I don't have an issue paying a premium for the best version of one of the best games of all time.
Sure.
And in the moment, the fidelity afforded to an
You'd pay
experience...
$70 for Star Fox 64 unchanged.
I would. That level of fidelity for an experience this brutal matters a whole hell of a lot more than higher fidelity for a game that isn't so predicated upon you feeling the impact of a fucking 2x4 against a guy's head. Like, sure. Goddamn, Naughty Dog really did an amazing job, I think, with the remake. And Splatoon 3 I can't wait for, but I really just want to play Last of Us.
The Link in Nebraska streets are popping off right now. Is someone actually setting off fucking fireworks like 3 houses down? Jesus.
At 8 p.m. But Tucker, do you have anything you want to say about Part 1 here?
No, I'm interested to play it. I think we should make some sort of video about The Last of Us.
Sure.
Once you and I have either beaten or played a good enough amount of Part 1 to discuss it, because my relationship to that game over the years is very interesting, and I don't necessarily want to talk about it all the way here because I think we could have I could certainly bring it into better conversation once I've played that game.
Yeah.
Or Part 1 at all. I haven't played it yet, so
yeah, we'll talk about it in great detail. If you're watching the video back, I wasn't laughing at you. I just think it's so fucking funny that Tanner wrote Happy September 7th for the fireworks. That's funny, Tanner. And Jason, it did win Part 2 did win Game of the Year in 2020, as it should have. But Jason, you know what time it is?
Pokemon clock.
Poke clock. Now, Tucker, here's a question for you. This will be on the fly. Do you want me to pull up the trailer and we can watch it as a group?
Yeah, let's do that, and let's not only because I think having a visual aid would be good, but just like we can pause and like talk about each thing as it happens.
Yeah. Okay. I'm being honest with you. I'm just gonna kind of do this probably in just like a scuffed way. I'm just gonna like put it on the overlay.
What?
Like I don't want to make a whole other scene and fucking put us on the sides and.
You don't have a reaction scene?
Tucker, can you mind your business?
Wait, you don't?
I'm recording different. It's not gonna work. Is the bottom line. It's not gonna work.
Oh, you're doing it in a different way, right?
I'm doing it a different way tonight that streamlines the entire process, but it's gonna make it so I can't really change scenes.
Sure. Okay.
Well, Jason, we love you too. And I like following you on Twitter, but sometimes, Jason, you put yourself down too much. And I want you to know that I believe in you 100% for your jobs and your relationships. We're in your fucking corner, buddy, because you're in ours. So this is a Jason positivity moment.
Woo! Jason positivity.
Enjoy your OLED, buddy. I know that's coming in a couple of days. I can't wait for you to have that. I know you're going to have fun with that. Let me pull up YouTube here. Tucker, could I have sort of just like the highest level reaction you might have to this trailer?
It actually just follows a really similar trend to the other trailers. A couple more details, but it still doesn't make much more sense than it did before.
Yeah, there's a lot that I find really interesting with this trailer that I want to talk about, but I have to say I feel a little bit more critical on the game after this trailer. And I'd like to talk about that, but yeah, here's the trailer. Guys, I'm sorry it's going to take me a fucking minute to get this properly on screen, and by properly it's still going to be improper, but this video is #1 on trending on YouTube right now.
Oh, I thought you meant our stream was.
Wouldn't that be a fucking trick and a half if that was true?
Oh god. What the fuck, Darren? I'm in Jason's corner, but I'm the guy who slices his swollen eye open with a razor blade so you can see it.
It's a fucking Rocky joke.
Yeah, it's a really weird Rocky joke.
That is a weird Rocky joke. Jesus Christ, Tanner. Okay. This window capture, Pokemon. Seek your treasure. I'm looking at it right now, you know what I mean? Treasure's name's Tucker Hazel. Okay, guys, yeah, okay.
This movie, what's this called? The trailer? This trailer's been #1 on trending the entire day?
Maybe.
Wow. Are you gonna cover me? You can. It's fine. Okay. Oh no! Actually, hold on. You can put it to the side. I'll sit really far to the side so you can still see me.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This again, guys. This is scuffed. I'm sorry, but.
Oh! We're putting it covering the entire thing. Oh wait, no, wait, no.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah. We're gonna do something like that. I think. We're gonna do something like that. I think that's good enough.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. Turn that audio way down. Tell me when we want to pause, Tucker.
I can't see it live because I.
Oh right. Oh right. Why don't you pull it up and we'll count down? How's that sound?
Sure. Okay. We'll put it at 0.
Mm-hmm.
And hit me with the countdown.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Now I gotta say, first impression, I like this like hand-drawn like scrapbook sort of thing they're going for in this trailer.
I do too. I think that's nice.
It's the first time they've done it.
Yeah. Okay,
so
let's pause. Let's pause.
Oh, we're pausing it.
Yeah.
Where?
I'm at 15 seconds.
Well, it doesn't matter.
It's fine. I want to hit you with a take I have. Put it in the middle, we'll sit off to the side. Tanner, you're not on the live stream. Stop telling us how to do our business. What do you think about the sort of technical state of the game right now?
I'm not sure I really care.
See, my feeling is this. Yeah, Jason, we'll talk about the new Pokemon because I think the design's really interesting. I think that the game just looks bad, and I feel like Legends Arceus. I said in the Discord that like looks on Legends Arceus level. I think that Legends Arceus, what it had going for it at least, was sort of an art style and like a cell shading.
Yeah.
Is Pokemon currently the only Nintendo game releasing in November? I think so. As of right now, yes, I think so.
Yeah.
But I think the environments look so empty. I think the texture work looks so flat and plain. Mm-hmm. I think that in this trailer more than maybe there's a really egregious one for Sword and Shield, but I think that the lack of voice acting is more palpable than ever.
Yeah, no, that shot of them walking down the stairs, and I was like, oh no voice acting. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, to predicate sort of the narrative through line for your trailer on like cutting to text boxes, I think is weird now. Like you have so much money, and think about the Nintendo franchises that are getting with the times. Your Zeldas. Think about the great voice acting in Fire Emblem that we've had.
Yeah.
Hell, look at Kid
Almost
Icarus.
Entire Xenoblade.
Yeah, all of Xenoblade. Look at Kid Icarus Uprising. The game sells peanuts compared to the franchise I just talked about. And that has so much voice acting and that presentation, so much life. The game feels very lifeless to me. And as we'll get into a little bit later, I don't want to keep pausing for all this shit, but like, the UI looks like it's not scaled in an interesting way. Like it's like a Pokemon is feels really small in the foreground and one in the background, and like you've got like a little indicator of their health bar or whatever. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look like the game of the caliber that it is. Like, Pokemon is huge, and they get away with it. And I'm going to buy the game, so I'm complicit in the problem. But I think I'm just really, like, my tolerance for this, I'm starting to run out of road.
Yeah.
I can no longer really blame it on, in experience with the hardware or things like that. It's just like, guys.
True, yeah, considering work.
Clock's ticking. And they're not saying to pay attention. Yeah. Clock's good point. Bayonetta and Mario & Rabbids are both October. A week apart. So that's cool. Tucker, I'm going to keep playing from 15 seconds. You don't think it needs it? I find it jarring if it had VA. I think it would be jarring at first, but it's necessary, I think. Star Fox 64 had voice acting, there's no excuse. Star Fox 64 is better than any other game, so other games don't have an excuse to be worse than it, but they are, so. But I agree with your point on the whole. Okay. Gonna play it in 3, 2, 1. I like this map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's more fleshed out.
Yeah. Very basic, open world game has a map, but I think it looks nice.
Yeah. Team Star.
Team Star looks okay.
They look fine.
Yeah.
I'll certainly be interested to see what actual role they play.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck was the last one? Team Yell?
This Mad Max car is very interesting to me.
Mela, yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the idea, and I was reading a little bit into this, the idea that that these Team Star bases and their leaders pepper the map and you sort of take them over.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's a pretty cool... I mean, it's not particularly unique, but just a nice way to sort of have something else to like look for in the open world.
Yeah, I like the idea that Pokemon is basically going to have Ubisoft-esque, like, you know, strongholds take over. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Now we're looking at Mr. Clauf here.
I love Clauf. I think he's probably my favorite new Pokemon introduced in this generation.
Now here's the thing about Clauf. I'm a fan of Clauf too.
Yeah.
But definitely the most basic design. Like there's not really anything going on there. He's just got bug eyes.
He's a cute crab. Take on the gym leaders.
Okay, Victory Road.
Yeah, this is interesting to talk about here. So we'll pause again in just a second to talk about it. Not yet. I want to wait till we see like that Roselia challenge thing here. But gym test. Let's pause here for a second on these Sunfloras.
Sure.
What do you think about this idea, Tucker? This idea that almost in a and it even really wasn't the case in Gen 7 because ultimately the totem trials were still just battles. But this idea that gym challenges seem to be more than just combat. What do you think about that?
Well, they've been trying to head towards that with Gen 7 and 8. 7 I think did it much better.
Yeah.
Because the totem trials were much more varied.
Yeah.
I mean, you go from the seeking out of the ingredients for the grass one, and then like the really simple but it kind of ends on a punchline one for Kiawe's fire trial with the with the Marowak. But I think if they are more integrated into the open world, like I like the idea here. We're already seeing this takes place in the town.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
That makes it more of something in a place rather than. I actually think that Gen 8 had some of the worst gyms ever because they weren't the environmental puzzles that they were in basically every other generation, but they weren't like they're really simple other kinds of gameplay interaction, and ultimately none of them ended up being memorable. I mean, like there's one where you heard the Wooloo for like 90 seconds, and there's one the
oh my god, I forgot about that.
The split gym one where you're in like a little spinny thing and it didn't control well, and it's also not like I think that those are the worst. Like this is already a step in the right direction, and it also seems to be like we're only seeing one here, so we'll have to see how it plays out in the game. But this is, I think this, if it lands the way that it could with the potential that we're seeing here of more diverse, set into the open world and things like that, this could be the best conceptually gyms that we've ever had.
Yeah, Andrew makes a point here, and Jason, we'll come back to your question after we check out the last two Pokemon in the trailer. But I agree with you that Clauf does have big guy vibes. By the way, look, he called him Big Guy. As you should, Jason. We're Team Big Guy. His name's actually Big Man, but I am with you. He should be Big Guy. But Andrew says, I want Pokemon to be challenging again, like RSE hard. I just hope that these...
RSE aren't hard.
I mean, challenge in Pokemon games is always a tenuous proposition. But I would like them to return to... I think engaged is the word I would use instead of hard. I think that modern Pokemon games put you on autopilot too much. And I'm just nervous that like we see like heard the Roselia. Oh no, what's this Pokemon's name? Sunflora, right?
Sunflora? Yeah.
Yeah, Sunflora, not Roselia.
I like you got like a whole fucking crowd of Sunflora just running around you.
It's a fun idea. I just hope that it's not here's a 1 minute gameplay interaction and then do the battle and move on. Now, as you said, obviously it's small sample size, but like with everything else in this game, it's great in concept. We just need to know the execution.
Absolutely. And I do want to have this a larger conversation about this as we wrap this up. This idea of concept and execution, how that plays into the Pokemon franchise. But are you watching
Oh
more?
yeah, I thought that was like the opening clause of a statement you're gonna make. That's fine. We can watch more. Okay, 3, 2, 1, play.
And pause where you want, because I can't really tell you where to pause because
Yeah, I like these new character designs on the whole. It's just like a blanket thought I have.
brass, yes.
But like this battle sequence again, like why is the UI so small? It just feels so weirdly framed. Like what's going on here? The great detail in the pseudo-widow.
Yes, weirdly good texture there.
Yeah, that's what I expect to see. We get a little bit of terastallizing.
Making Pseudo-Widow actually grass type.
Just beat the shit out of Quaxley there.
Look how hard the gems are.
Yeah, I mean, I like that they're showing us so many different biomes.
Yeah, no, great variety there.
Yeah. Variety without sacrificing cohesion.
The one thing I do want to say, Grafii is a good signal for me.
Yeah.
In a specific way. Now, do we want to just the trailer's wrapped up?
Yeah, we're just gonna let the trailer. We'll let the trailer finish here.
Okay, they're just showing all the how many fucking characters there.
Yeah, characters terastallizing.
Terastallizing's still stupid in my opinion, but
I am coming around on terastallizing because I think that it might actually.
It could be good for the meta and for actually battling and like, but
yeah.
What matters to me is do the funny form look good, and no, the funny form look fucking horrendous in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see. But trailer is done. Tucker, how does this little goofy, impish gentleman signal something for you?
Oh, so Grafii was revealed in an interesting way.
Yeah.
If you remember last week, the sort of nature documentary, like what's leaving these weird marks, and then they had a little trailer showing them off. And I don't love Grafii. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's a good Pokemon. But like, what I've always wanted from open world Pokemon games conceptually, and there, there's small examples of in Sword and Shield and in Legends Arceus, but is to have specific Pokemon species have roles that they play in the world, and that they're not all just sitting there like the exact same.
Yeah,
I've always wanted it to be the only way that you can like get a certain Pokemon to show up is to do a certain thing, or you have to approach Pokemon in different ways. And I don't know how across the board this is going to be with the new Pokemon, or if they'll backfill older Pokemon into different roles in the environment. But the idea that Grafii not only has some sort of impact on the environment, like there are trees and rocks and bits of the field that are painted with Grafii graffiti, and that's really interesting. I don't know if that's like going to impact anything gameplay wise, or if you just have to look for that graffiti, but that already is something unique. Like no other Pokemon does that, and in order to find Grafii, you have to find that graffiti. And I just find that like that's exactly the kind of direction I want them to be taking. Like make each Pokemon species feel more distinct because they have their own role.
Yeah, no, I love the concept. I'm a fucking broken record.
And they also have Grafii like climbing the trees and like painting the rocks and like doing these more complex animations than just standing in a field. And I don't know if that was just for the trailer or something, but if Pokemon are doing those sort of interactions like climbing trees, that's great. That'd be phenomenal.
Toastifier says the mouse-looking guy has interesting takes.
Yeah. The guy on the left, on the right.
Yeah, again, it comes down to the fact that this world looks like it's going to feel more alive. Mm-hmm. But I need to play it. We got this environmental diversity. We have what you're saying in terms of the new Pokemon interactions. We've got
Cloth also, though Cloths seem like they hang on the upside of cliffs and stuff. That's that's not crazy, but it's at least interesting.
Yeah, I wonder how much it's really going to matter in the context of a game that pretty clearly seems to not be adopting Legends Arceus' catching mechanics. Reason being that if capturing is basically a static action in battle, then there seems like there's a little bit less of a dynamic tenor to if, hey, you got to actually look up the rock wall to find the cloth and throw the Pokeball. It was just, hey, kind of like look at the cloth and like Z-target it and challenge it to a battle. I think it's a little bit less dynamic, but really
you do have the ability to throw out your Pokemon wherever, I believe.
Yeah, you do have that because there's the new auto battle system.
Yes, which I think is very interesting.
I think it's interesting. I don't really. I guess
I
it's
mean,
like
I don't exactly know what it is, but
my feeling.
conceptually very interesting.
My feeling is that it's probably going to be what a lot of traditional JRPGs do, wherein if you have a significant statistical advantage over an enemy, to where you're 100% going to beat them without any challenge, you can just auto battle them for the EXP. Like Earthbound does this. If you are like there's a certain gulf in power between the mob and you'll just step on them on the overworld and you just kill them. You don't even have to go into battle.
Sure.
It seems like because you get like you see your Pokemon's health bar still as you're traversing the overworld when they're in an auto battle. It seems like you might just be able to throw them out against anybody.
Yeah.
So all of this, what this does, Jason, I think it is a W in concept. My question is, on a moment-to-moment level, what are all these systems going to look like in practice? And I think at this point, Tucker, I've basically resigned myself to the fact that we are not going to know until we play the game.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think that I'm just critical on the Pokemon machine as it rears its ugly head once more. I say with love, as this is probably one of my favorite gaming franchises. So I really want this to be a game that I want to go and quote unquote clear the map in, right? Defeat all of the strongholds, complete my Pokedex, see all these interactions, explore these different branching paths for my character, the gym challenge and everything. And I hope that just these ideas are supported by a framework, an executional framework that they deserve. But I don't know. I'm just skeptical.
Yeah. I think I'm skeptical as well.
Yeah.
Because they haven't given us like clear details on these things. We've been asking these questions. We've been like, okay, so we sort of know it's open. Okay, and then they confirm it's open, but they don't really say how it's open. And okay, multiplayer would be really cool. And they're like, hey, there's complete multiplayer, like completely revamped multiplayer. But we don't know exactly what that means. This idea of the auto battle, the idea of the 3 branching paths, all of these are great signals.
Yeah.
But we don't know exactly how great of signals they will be when the game comes out. But I think what's interesting here is the reason we have these questions is because almost everything that this game is doing is not what Pokemon has done in the past. This is the biggest, outside of Legends Arceus, this is the biggest shift we've seen in almost every regard to the Pokemon gameplay formula. The reason that it was so easy to get a trailer for something like for Sun and Moon and see, they're doing totem battles. They have the Kahunas, the idea of Ultra Beasts, and be like, that's cool, and know exactly what it means, is because it wasn't any different from what was been done before. It was an Ultra Beast is a legendary. The Kahunas are gym leaders. The Totem Trials are gym battles. But this is radically different in so many different ways that I'm skeptical that they can pull it off because they've never done it before, but also, like, we're no longer doing that half step that we were so frustrated with in Sword and Shield, or the elements that we see in Let's Go or we see in Legends Arceus. We're like, wow, these are great ideas, but they're not brought to full conclusion. It's certainly possible that we have another one here, but this is full step forward in more open, approach it how you want. There is more multiplayer. There's multiple pathways. We're trying new mechanics like the auto battling. I think regardless, this is maybe the most important Pokemon game that we're ever going that we have gotten so far. And because of that, I'm very excited.
Sure.
I'm not skeptical because I don't think that any of these signal bad things, at least in my opinion.
I mean, you're 100% right. And I almost feel like I can review the game right now. Same as Sword and Shield.
Sure, interesting.
It's so ambitious, and there's so many great new ideas, but they don't feel polished.
Fair,
and
yes.
And I think you're right about the scale of evolution here. Yeah. I just think that after personally reviewing BDSP, Legends Arceus, now obviously these aren't core titles, but reviewing those in a very middling way, personally, I just feel like my willingness to give Game Freak sort of like a pass is just gone.
Yeah, no,
and
absolutely.
So watching them implement basic open world ideas,
yes,
watching them continue to fumble the technical fidelity when there are much more ambitious in terms of scale Switch games that look much better than this.
Of course, absolutely.
I just have a hard time not being skeptical.
Yeah.
But I remain quite hopeful, as you're saying, that this is not only going to be a very important Pokemon game, but the Pokemon game that really gets me back on board, not because I love Pokemon, but because it's a great game.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't play 70 hours of Pokemon Sword because it's a great game.
No.
I played 70 hours of Pokemon Sword because I love Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I hope that I'm playing this one for that period of time because it's a series I love, but also because it's a genuinely well constructed and thought out game. But like,
yeah, no, absolutely. I think what's interesting about this is we're noticing ambition come at the cost in the Pokemon series of cohesion. Yeah. Because when we got to Gen 7, we thought it was really cool that they were trying something new, but ostensibly it wasn't anything
They
new.
really weren't.
And it was because they had 20 fucking years of the exact same structure of game.
Yeah.
To polish it and to understand what's going on. And, you know, there's changes, there's things that are more visually and conceptually ambitious, but routes and gyms and going into the wild battles in the tall grass and Pokemon wasn't any different for 20 years. And now, fortunately and unfortunately, with the release of the first Switch games with Let's Go and Sword and Shield, we're like, oh, this isn't quite landing in these ways because they're trying something new and they obviously don't know what it is. I think that this for me seems like the most confident they've ever been because it is a full step in all these regards.
Yeah.
As opposed to it puts Gen 8 in a really interesting framework of they wanted an open world, but they weren't confident enough in an open world, so they separated it from the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And then it was an open world and then a traditional Pokemon game like stapled onto the sides of it.
Yeah.
And luckily we're past that, and I think that that's already a much better sign.
It certainly is, and we're gonna find out. Andrew. Yeah. First of all, Jason says W is for both of our takes, not for Game Freak. Hell yeah, we deserve W's all the time. Hope we get new evolution. I don't know if it will. I mean, we haven't got one since Gen 6 now, so who fucking knows. But what Andrew says, and I think is germane to what you just said, is I keep forgetting we got Legends Arceus this year and this. And then Tim says, don't forget Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl last year, everyone's favorite. I just think that the scale that you're talking about that we're evolving at is just dampened by how much Pokemon we get.
Sure. No, absolutely.
And so, like, there's nothing special about a new Pokemon game releasing in 2 months because we just got one 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And my point there being, like, now focus is on quality.
Yeah.
Legends Arceus is maybe a mainline game, maybe not a mainline game. Very experimental. I've had the experiments. I know that Game Freak can try stuff, but I want to see them really polish it. Mm-hmm. And I really hope that they do. So, I don't know, Tucker. I don't know. Let's answer Jason's question here, though, before we wrap up the segment. Favorite new Pokemon revealed so far? What do you think of the two Mega Man bosses that they're adding as Pokemon?
Armarouge and Ceruledge. I don't really care. Like, they're fine.
Yeah.
I think for me, what it comes down to is these are maybe legendaries.
Yeah.
Like, they seem like they're unique and there like won't be a bunch of them running around. But they're also showing them off as normal Pokemon. And I'm just curious how these Pokemon will play into the story.
Sure.
Or like what their role in the world of Paldea is. Because they're very unique. And like for me it just comes down to that kind of execution. Like, how do I encounter this? Like, is there a little story attached to them? Will it be cool to get them? And even if I don't love their designs, like they seem to be a very interesting and unique part of this world.
Yeah, we'll see. It might be that, or it might be just like they're like fucking Pawniard, and they're just like superhuman looking Pokemon, and they just didn't show more of them in the trailer. We don't know.
That's fair. No, you're right. There could.
Yeah,
you're right. Absolutely.
I think they look silly. I think they go so far beyond even like looking like a human to where they
Yeah.
just look like anime characters.
Yes.
But like, I don't care. I don't fucking care.
The interesting thing is, they're the like. I know you are not the hugest fan of Koraidon and Miraidon.
Yeah.
But they are a huge departure from the design philosophy of every other Pokemon revealed. Now, I will say, we have not gotten that many Pokemon
because
revealed.
there's going to be 20 Pokemon in the Pokedex.
Yeah, it's possible. There's like a total of like 12 revealed so far. And that could be a very good thing. But I've liked everything that's been revealed so far. Ceruledge and Amarouge are like I don't look at them and go yay, but I'm not disappointed by them. But everything else I've been very happy with, design wise.
Lutu, who is like my go-to guy to hear about Pokemon these days, writes because he said that they feel so distinct design wise. Both these Pokemon, he's saying 999%. He's just saying that he's confident in this. Confident they were designed by Hitoshi Ariga, who I want to look up, but I believe he actually did work on Mega Man. Hitoshi
Ariga, manga artist. Yes. Yeah. First thing that comes up is Mega Man.
Yeah, and I think he is new to Game Freak. Maybe I am high on... Maybe I'm smoking a fucking marijuana cigarette, Tucker.
Well, the first thing he looked up...
Oh, he's been there with X and Y.
Has he designed any Pokemon?
Pangoro, Inkay, Malamar, Honedge, Doublade. Wow. A lot of them.
And a lot of these are good. I mean, I love Miyamura, Inkay, Minior, Wickedy.
But Abram, what do you think about the new names? I know you hated Small Chunk and Rhydon, so I'm curious. I think, what are the new names, Tucker, for the Mega Man ones?
Armarouge, and Ceruledge.
So these get a little bit tenuous, right? Because one of them is red and one of them has sword arms.
Yeah.
But to me, these are a little bit more in like the Honedge camp, which is just Hone Edge, like a sword, right?
Abram, that's what every Pokemon's fucking name is.
Right. So that's what I mean. Chonk and Small are memes, and I don't like that.
Cloth and Grafaiai don't play into that, correct?
No, Cloth to me feels
Cyclizar?
That one's not great, because that's Rhydon territory, because you're cycling on him.
On the Lizard.
Yeah.
But I will say Cyclizar also fits that sort of Grafaiai thing of Cyclizar has a role in this world.
Right.
Cyclizar is what everyone else rides on because they don't get the fucking legendary.
He's there to be subjugated. So we'll see.
Yeah, but I kind of like it. It's like
it's funny.
That's what this world uses instead of fucking motorcycles. It's kind of interesting. Oh, but they do have Mad Max Fury Road style cars.
Right, which is fucking crazy. But no, I think the names are fine. To actually answer the question, Cloth is my favorite. I think that name sounds like something I would nickname him, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I Cloth is my favorite, followed by Quaxley, followed by Fuecoco, followed by Palmy, followed by Sprigatito. So, and I would love the designs. I love the designs of all of them. Well, except for the ones that look like fucking Digimon or whatever. But the names really bring down Lechonk, which is a great design, and Smoliv, which I also like a lot.
Yeah, I'm a fan of my favorites, like the ones I would add to my team here, because I'm very specific in that I build my Pokemon team not around their types or anything, but ones I have the most connected to design-wise.
Sure.
I don't know if I've ever said this on the internet, but I beat the Gen 8 champion with my Choodle that had a Everstone on it.
Oh, cool.
The final hit was a Gigantamax Choodle.
Nicely done.
Or I guess a Dynamax. Yeah, not Gigantamax. But
what I like to do is I like to pick. I like to usually. I'll pick whatever for a first playthrough, but if I'm ever going to replay a game for whatever reason, I want to pick Pokemon that I both never used and that people don't usually use. So like when I was playing BDSP, I'm like, I've played these fucking games before.
Now we got a Tim question here, and Tim, my man, my buddy, How many Pokemon will I be able to name in total if shown their pictures in random order? Tim, I don't even need their pictures.
Right.
I actually did it today at work. It was the first time I'd done it in like a month because I've been traveling and busy and stuff. But the pkmnquiz.com is a website where there's empty spaces and you type in the name and the little sprite for the Pokemon pops up in the place that it goes in. And you have, as long as you want, type in all these Pokemon. And now I'm out of practice, so I wasn't great at it today. But I got like 850 of them in 35 minutes or something like that. So
nice.
Thank you.
I can
name them all.
I could probably get 500.
I'd love to see you do the fucking PKMN quiz. You're never gonna do it.
For my sensibilities, I'm not sure I could waste time. I don't think an activity would register to me as wasting time as much as that would. In like Generation 6, I could give you all of them without even fucking skipping a beat. By the time we started getting into Generation 7, I started playing less Pokemon. I started to lose a little bit. I got back when Gen 8 was the thing, and I completed that national dex and everything. My naming skills got better, and then they got worse again. So I think right now I could probably give you 500. But Tucker,
not good enough.
Is it time?
Tim, I'll send you the thing.
Is it time?
I guess it's time. Now we only have 4 people watching, so not many people are going to get this live.
But... Yeah, but if you're here, give us a hype, give us a drum roll up. Abby, you're back pretty much right in time. You missed some Pokemon chatter, but now we're doing the big announcement. And this is a genuinely big announcement, so fucking drop it in chat, give us a drum roll, give us something like that. We're going to sit here and...
I'm not seeing any drum rolls, so this is
rough. Wah. Someone's going to do it.
Now it says 3 watching now, and I think I might be one of them.
No, but more people are in there than that. That's wrong. Because if I look in the studio, it says that 30 people are watching right now.
What the fuck?
No, that's not true. I didn't even open the tab. I just made it up. But I want one person in chat to do drum roll.
Do some sort of drum roll, something related to drum roll.
Something.
Drums.
Tim, Jason, my man. Hit us with the drum emojis.
Oh, we got
sets
the
of them. We got the drums. They're still coming. They're rolling. Those drums be rolling, Tucker, as I always say about my drums. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Oh, and we got Tim in here. It's just that stream delay. We got Ivy in here with the drum roll. We're getting the cavalry out now, Tucker. We have got the cavalry out now. Tucker,
yeah.
I want you to make this announcement.
Okay, yeah. Well, we got a light announcement because I had to communicate this to my co-hosts of Back Cod Banter, Angela Roscoe and Daniel Navaroli, because we haven't done Back Cod Banter in a fucking minute. I mean, there's a reason, and there's also a reason that we sort of took off August, not only because I was traveling, but haven't been doing almost any gaming content. Is we are planning to not only revamp the channel in terms of we're having our graphics officially done by someone who actually knows what they're doing instead of me making them in 20 seconds on
new
Photoshop.
Assets. Totally new assets.
We don't even know what they look like yet.
No, we're working with the graphic designer.
We don't even know what the aesthetic of the channel is going to be.
Yes.
But it's going to be new.
Yes. And professional.
And because we paid money for it.
Yeah. We're spending Tucker's dad's money on this project.
Yes. And because of that, we are taking that opportunity as well to make Backlog Banter into a set of channels, pair of channels, sister channels, if you will, twins. We are leaving the current channel, but we are changing it to be Backlocked Banter. And the channel we have now is going to stay uploading our weekly movie reviews that Tanner and I do. We're going to continue uploading UMP on there. Our Star Wars show is going to be on there.
Yeah.
And of course Quest. Anything that is film related or other media related.
Pop culture. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Backlog Banter. No, I'm not pregnant.
No.
Not yet.
That's for the next episode.
That's for BLB. That's for the live BLB 2. And the other channel is going to be Backlog Banter. It's going to be what we have the name of the channel as now. And that is going to be a refreshed take that Abram and I are going to have towards our video game content. We're going to pare back on doing things like talking about when Sony bought fucking Bungie, and we talked about that for like 20 minutes. We're not going to be doing those kind of things unless we really want to. Then, of course, nothing's stopping us. We can do whatever fuck we want.
Yeah.
But we're going to change the way that we approach making our gaming content, trying to make it a little more concise, be a little more proud and high production value of each of the videos that come out. And the divide is mostly just so each channel can cultivate its own audience and culture without the two like overwhelming people. And of course, you can subscribe to both. You can get both feeds in your subscription feed, and you should. But we hope that without 2 gaming videos a week, our movie channel will cultivate a better movie culture, and without a bunch of movie reviews a week going onto a channel that people think is about gaming, that we'll be able to be a little more clear in our passion for gaming and have it be just more distinct.
Yeah, you gotta think about it sort of logistically, right? I mean, back the channel you're on right now, so much of its growth, especially its recent growth, was from RRR.
Yes.
And now obviously there's a flash in the pan type of situation, right? And so it's not really reflective.
And the pan is still flashing. We've got 9,000 views in the last month, and 6,000 of those are from RRR.
Right. It's the sort of thing of the people who are on this channel now are here for movies because that's the lion's share that's being uploaded. That's where so much of our traffic has come from. It used to be games, but that I think shifted when Timo and Tanner joined, and the channel got so much stronger as a result. But the channel also got so heavily skewed to the direction of movies, and that's just inherent to the fact that they are film guys, and they're fucking great at it.
Tanner played some Last of Us 2 today.
Well, good for him. For what, 15 minutes or whatever?
Yeah.
But the channel as it is right now is for film. It really is. The gaming content has been secondary, and the fact that gaming content and film try to coexist makes it hard for the channel to be recommended. It makes it hard for people to communicate what backlog banter is. It just makes it difficult when... Yeah, it just makes it unnecessarily difficult when we could restructure. And Jason, we know that people like you are here just for the games, and we don't want that side of the channel to flounder because...
Well, it has for the last month, but...
Well, it's floundered with
intentionally.
With an intention, because we want the gaming content to make sense, and we want a fresh start sort of statistically to grow a channel and grow it right. And you just can't really grow a channel well when it's intermingled in this way. Yeah. So what we've been talking about is that the experience when you're in the Discord and everything is going to be very similar, because you're going to be constantly seeing our channel posted announcements or whatever, but we're going to keep them tied together in the sense that all of the back catalog of gaming content is going to remain on this channel.
Yeah,
and so that's not, we're never going to delete anything.
That would fucking kill me.
Right. Over Tucker's cold, dead corpse would we delete a video off this channel. But what it means is that from now on, you're just when the channel split happens, you're going to see us cross promote, right? So what I'm thinking is like the end slide of a video might be check out what's happening in backlog banter, newest video backlog banter, newest video backlog banter. That's just even a thought I haven't talked about with Tucker yet. But the point is, the links are going to be cross pollinated. It's going to be all in the Discord. It's going to be very clear that there's synergy here, and the channel name's going to be one letter different, right?
Yeah.
So
literally.
There's clearly a familial relationship there. But for the sake of growth, for the sake of having cultivated audiences, these need to be separate. And at the same time, it's giving us an opportunity to reflect and sort of reconsider gaming content, because I think our gaming content is great, but it's the fucking
1984.
Pedro Pascal thing. It's good, but it could be better. And we're brainstorming a lot of show ideas. We're brainstorming a lot of one-off discussion ideas. And brainstorming ways to bring higher production value in terms of editing to them. Yeah. And content the Discord will not be separated.
Frankly, very little is changing.
Right.
Actually, if you subscribe to both of the channels, which you should, you're gonna get the same shit. Like, nothing's really it's only to help bring in new people.
Yes, frankly. It's clerical. To the people who are really in our community, which are really who I care to make videos for. Yeah, you're gonna have the same experience. If anything, you're gonna have a higher quality one, because attention is going to be dispersed where it belongs, and we're going to produce less gaming videos, but they are going to be of a higher quality. We're brainstorming the idea of like one major gaming video a week, well edited, well produced, well considered. Still discussion length. We're still talking long form content here, but then supplemented by short form actual YouTube shorts that are scripted and written and have something interesting going on to stimulate growth, to talk about things that don't make sense in these long form videos. But then we'll nonetheless still be doing what you love, which is reactions to news. As it makes sense, it'll be timely content. But on the game side, there's going to be less content, but better content, and just in a home that's going to stimulate it better. So as Tucker's saying, it's for you guys, nothing is going to change other than you're going to see some new show ideas that we're actually going to follow through on. You're going to see you're going to see new art. You're going to see new assets. You're hopefully going to see a kind of a renewed enthusiasm around the channel. We've been working on some really cool stuff, but I think that we'd be lying if we weren't all burnt out. Like, I don't know where Quest is today, because I think it was supposed to go up today, right? Today's Wednesday, and none of us even really thought about it, to be honest. I think we're all.
Well, I messaged Timo.
Yeah, I mean.
Wait, he said 6 minutes ago in our group chat, if you haven't uploaded your audio, you've got about an hour before I need it. So it's not going up tonight, or maybe it's going to go up at midnight. But fucking whatever.
It'll be close. But I think the honest truth of the matter is that we're all being pulled in different directions, and we're all stressed, and we all need a break. And we're kind of using this channel split as a chance to take a little bit of time off and to come back the right way with all of the ideas we really want to do well executed.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and I don't want to set false expectations, but the plan right now is late October. You're going to see the fruits of this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it primarily comes down to when do we get our assets done.
Yep.
And then Abram and I need to have a lot more communication about what exactly we want to do. And we still do have some gaming videos that have been recorded already that
will probably go up on the current.
Will probably go up, within the next few weeks. We haven't really discussed those, so who the fuck knows? But the goal is just that the content that's going to go up will actually, Tim, give you a sort of a somewhat of a taste of what we want to do. But we're looking at things like our audio quality is so variable. What can we do to have better audio quality? What can we do to have the shows look and sound better? So that's sort of the considerations we're working on right now. Tim hints. We want to focus more on what makes us unique as game players, which is the fact that we are really interested in Nintendo history. So we've got a number of ideas planned that are going to sort of be reflecting on times and pockets and elements of Nintendo's history and culture that other people aren't talking about. So that's what I will say. Look out for some retrospective stuff that I think is going to be really unlike how most people are talking about Nintendo online. Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
And we also have a couple unique ideas for possible live stream content. We have lost BLBS to the sands of fucking time. And personally, I miss it quite a bit. But I would like to try to revamp what we do in terms of live streams and build the community else in that way. Because, I think the reason that Abby was stuck around the way that I did is because we had BLBS and he got to know us through that. So hopefully more connection to the community as well.
Yeah. And shorts is just something we really want to investigate. Because BLB is about long form conversation, and that long form conversation is not going anywhere, but also
it doesn't give views.
It's not a good traffic generator. Shorts do great, and I think we can do interesting things with shorts. Like the shorts we have now are fun because for the most part they're sort of like highlight reels. Like the Thort is an exception and things like that. But we've been sort of doing some research into how people use shorts in interesting ways. And coming from a background of writing like 600-word features for CBR, like there's so many interesting topics we can talk about that are short form that don't fit discussion-based content, but that we could produce in funny, interesting ways. So we're just kind of experimenting across scales. We're thinking about what's going to make us the most creatively happy, what's going to let us connect with you guys the most. And it's just, I think it was time for a bit of a refresh. So it's very exciting.
Yes.
It's very exciting. So keep an eye out for that. Feel free, now that it's out in the open, feel free to ask for like updates in Discord. It'll keep us honest, I think, about what we're actually doing and not doing.
Yes.
So, yeah, and we will certainly make it collaborative because I think what's fun about backlog banter is that we basically tell you everything going on, like literally
Yes.
everything.
God, Tim, you know what? Great fucking point.
Fuck
Great
yeah,
fucking
Tim.
point.
But Tucker, is there anything else you want to say about this whole kit and caboodle? Pardon my language.
We'll see.
All right. I'll just say that I'm very excited. In my personal life, my attention is just being pulled in so many different directions that I've felt like for a while I was giving BLB short shrift, and I'm excited to sort of use this as a chance to get excited and
a little bit.
Yeah, and figure things out and make it better. Like I had so much fun doing that Splatoon video for you guys. I thought that was a lot of fun to put together. So I want to be experimenting with stuff like that, but also like Tucker and I have recorded some really interesting conversations like about 1-2 Switch and stuff that have been really fun. So we just want to go for it.
I just want to say that because we're the idea right now is to shift towards these higher production value things that are a little more focused, but we're not going to lock ourselves down to anything.
No.
If the time is too busy, we still want to talk about games. We don't want to put production value in. That's okay.
Yeah.
Shows like that COD banter probably won't change. If we do continue BLB, because I think that's probably one of the most unique things we currently do.
I love BLB.
All right, bitch. We might try to reframe it in some way, but it'll largely be the same. If there's anything that you like that we've done that you'd like to see us bring back or reframe or wondering how it's going to be changed, just ask. I think that the most important thing now that Jason and Tim and maybe Avi know about this. Actually, I don't think Avi's in the chat or he's the one that's saying something.
It's late for him.
Start talking about it. Yeah. Ask us like in the backlog. Like talk to us about it on Twitter. Yeah. Get people aware that this is happening because I think yes, it was a long episode. It was a live episode. Don't fucking get that. Don't get that twisted up. The fear that I have is that we split and no one knows and the game side flounders and nothing really changes. So getting the word out there is definitely a good idea.
I think the other thing about it though is in complete transparency though is like we have no reach. And starting a new channel is going to give us more reach, frankly, than even your guys' word of mouth possibly could, just because YouTube favors certain things and doesn't give a shit about others. And if we put out a meaty but clickable and interesting video on a new channel that's going to get that new channel stink to it in a good way, like that's going to circulate us well. So I think that traffic is going to be better because I'm not going to lie and say it's not disheartening how few views some of our videos get.
Absolutely, yeah.
For as fun as they are to make, it's disheartening. So, what you guys
Avi,
Avi, here's the deal.
That's no shit.
yeah, Avi, no worries. TLDR. The current channel is going to be changed. Its name is going to be changed to Backlot Banter and is going to just be movie content. We're making a new channel called Backlog Banter for just gaming content. And there's going to be some different new shows, some more retrospective stuff, bringing back some old things, some more high production value content, but still focus on long form conversations. We're basically just making Backlog Banter into 2 sister channels. And
holy shit, Sam,
my ma'am.
Oh, and also, Avi, we're having completely new graphics done.
Yeah.
So the aesthetic
Bespoke.
of Din Condensed and Nebula is probably going to be gone.
Yeah, it's going to be gone. And we're targeting late October for this, obviously. So that's kind of why gaming content's been slowing down because we've been thinking like, fuck, A, we're burned out, and B, how can we come back our best selves? Sam, you tease me. You tease me, Sam.
Oh, lordy.
Anything else you want to say? I feel like I've fucking exhausted my caboose.
No, we're good. I do think that we should discuss maybe off.
See, Abby, here's the situation. The memories are ephemeral. They exist in your head and my head and Tucker's head. This content's not going anywhere. Content's not going anywhere. The repository of all videos are never going to be deleted.
BLB's repository.
BLB repository. The
That's the
Discord.
first piece of BLB merch.
Yep. The Discord is going to still be the hub for all of our content, for all of our conversation. The only difference, and you're going to subscribe to both channels, Abby, because you're a real one. The only difference is going to be your gaming videos are going to come from one channel, film videos are going to come from a different channel.
Yeah.
So.
And if you want to turn on notifications, you're not going to get flooded by shit like UMP and Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or fucking Herbie and Robot Jericho go to the mall or whatever dumb fuck movies you guys review.
Oh, Barbarian Tomorrow, boys.
Barbarian Tomorrow. Barbarian.
Justin Long, star of Tusk, which I just watched.
Barbarian Birthday, I think they're calling it. And it's a marketing campaign.
Yep.
But yeah, Abby. Yes, but all.
There's no sad.
There's no.
Give me that word sad. There's no fucking.
It's actually only happy.
Yeah. Hopefully, it'll only be a good thing.
Yeah, to be honest, guys, there is no downside.
Better content and better growth.
Right, fuck, you are our intern, so we are going to have to figure out how we're going to split your responsibilities. But keep in mind, you are getting college credit for this. We haven't determined if you're going to get 2 credits worth for being the intern for both channels, but we'll work it out.
Just give me your mom's credit card number and the wacky numbers on the back and the expiration date, and we'll figure it out.
And then you get college credit in return. And again, this actually goes for everybody in chat. We will write you letters of recommendation for things.
What the fuck?
You can put us as references on job applications, and I'll pick up the phone call and lie through my teeth for you.
Yeah. Have you go to a hospital and they're like, hey, we need a family member for you to put down the phone number for.
If you need an emergency contact for any reason whatsoever.
You go to jail, you need that one call, you know? Call into BLBS and we'll talk to you on stream.
I answer every phone call I get, and the first thing in my mouth is my social security number. So use that as you will.
My social security number is actually my Twitter bio. No, don't look, though.
You'll DM us the details? Yes. Actually, I have something more important than my social security number and my Switch friend code in my bio.
That's a great point. I think I also have mine there.
Now,
April, I want to end this on
we're
one
getting
final
goofy.
note.
We're getting goofy.
Exactly. We should have been goofy from the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This kind of makes me want to play video games. Now I know it's scary. It's a scary thought. But I was actually thinking about that today. I was going to play some Xenoblade after this, but I think I might go pay for Xbox Game Pass and start Immortality tonight.
Yeah, I really think you should.
Avi, that's funny. Oh god. You know, technically that's actually I don't know how long each of those are.
A social security number is not the same number of digits as a Switch run code.
Now here's a fun fact. I don't know my social security number.
I know mine off the top of my head.
I should, but you know.
A Switch friend code is actually harder to guess mathematically than the social security number. There's significantly more digits. I'm gonna make a veiled statement here, and you can just say Y or N.
You want me to say?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the title, or you just sort of save that? You know the title. We talked about it today. Sent you into fucking.
It's too late. It's too late.
Okay, that's fine. Tucker's been playing.
Wow.
He's been playing
that's
something.
Charming.
I don't even want it. I can't. I think
the game's out. They gave me a code for Ooblets and I played. I don't really like it.
See, I was gonna make some kind of joke about you playing one of these like hentai games or whatever, but you nipped it in the bud. The U.S. should adopt the Switch friend code system. My friend, who's also from India, said, I said it as though I'm from India. I phrased that really weirdly. I'm not from India, by the way. She needs to get a social security right now so she can earn money from a campus job. I thought you only get a social security number when you become a citizen, but apparently not.
I thought that
they give about like fucking Halloween
automatically when you're born.
Well, yeah, when you're born, because you become you're a citizen by birth in the United States of America. You're a citizen, so you get a social security number.
But what do you say, buddy?
They give them out like a fucking Toblerone on October 31st. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure, Abram. We're all citizens that are born in the U.S.
I also
Keep telling yourself that.
Sam also knows my social security number off the top of his head.
Oh, and the top of Sam's head is fucking huge. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Play some video games, Tucker. Here's what I want to say, and this is going to be so insensitive when we say it anyway. You know when people are like mondo addicted to like nicotine, and like their fucking organs are gonna fail if they get off of it.
Yeah.
And so they'll start like hitting a vape, right?
Which doesn't really change anything.
Which like you can vape in without nicotine, right? So you like because it's like phantom limb syndrome, but you got to hit it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that
about me in movies and games.
Immortality is like games
I
and
see.
movies intersecting.
Yeah, I see. Oh, okay.
So what I'm saying is this is like your fucking guava flavored vape or whatever.
Sure.
They give you your SSN on one of those tickets they give people in there in line at the deli.
No one gives fucking tickets at a deli.
Yeah, Tucker, is there anything better than a fucking piece of provolone from a deli?
I've only ever had it just out of like a...
This is why you turned out the way you did.
I only eat sac Valone. I'm too busy to say provolone. So
just drop the Valone. That's what you eat.
Bro?
Sac. You said sac Valone.
Oh, I see. What? Oh, Jesus. Oh.
I'm saying you eat the fucking sack that the baby bells come in. You know the baby bell? You ever eat a baby bell? Yeah. I want my baby bell, baby bell, baby bell. I want my baby bell, baby bell, baby bell. Did you have friends in elementary school? Sorry, the best episode of BLB ever. No. It might be Abby. Yeah. Did you have friends who would eat the wax of the baby bell?
No, because I didn't know you.
No, well, here's the thing. I don't eat the baby bell at all because I have to eat cheese cold and thin, or I'll vomit.
Too thick? A piece of baby bell?
Baby bell is warm and
what the fuck do you mean it's
spongy. You put Tucker, when you're 8 years old and your mom packs your lunch sack.
Baby bell in your pocket while you're playing at recess?
Tucker, you fucking have a baby bell in your lunchbox. It's gonna be warm.
Dumbass. Oh, they don't have those in Maine. It's too warm up there.
People eat warm baby bell cheese.
All right, sound off in chat. Warm baby bells exist?
This is a fucking state of matter quiz. Of course they exist.
Sound off in the chat. Is matter real?
According to Jordan Peterson, matter is like fucking hate or whatever.
Send me that fucking Minions thing.
Yeah, let me send it to you right now.
Okay, alright. We're gonna watch the live reaction. I recorded a live reaction to the Pokemon thing this morning, and I hit pause, and I said out loud to myself, I'm not uploading this.
Actually, I think this might have been too vulgar. Have you seen these videos of Tom Cruise drinking olive oil today?
No, this is a real true story about me. The last 2 days, I haven't been on my phone that much. Like, I've been... Because I have such a automatic addiction to, like, if I'm going somewhere, if I'm doing something, I have, like, a podcast or a YouTube video on. And I've realized that that's sort of, like, overwhelming my brain. So I've had my phone on Do Not Disturb for almost the entirety of the last 48 hours.
Yeah,
I just have not been on Twitter, like, almost at all, or at least in comparison.
That's a healthy way to live, but my brain is constantly fucking stimulated, Tucker. I mean, constantly. I'm always listening to something, or I'm checking my phone as I walk. The same apps. There's nothing new there. You know what I mean? Now watch this video that I sent you.
Can I watch it? Is this allowed on the internet?
Yeah, it's on Twitter.
Is it allowed on the internet?
It's on Twitter, but I think like those terrorist videos are also on Twitter. So
as someone who snacks on a baby bell regularly, I confirm baby bells get extremely soft and warm like 2 minutes after being taken out of the fridge.
Sam, you might have my social security number, but you also have my back.
Slumbers with minions on my mind.
Minions. Go back, rewind it. Play it from the beginning.
No, I don't know if I want to put this on in BLB.
Play it from the beginning. It's a great video. Or play it quiet into your own ear.
You just want to watch my...
I just want your reaction to it.
Okay, all right. That's a good way to live, Abby.
As it should be. Got a scarf down right after you open the fridge door. Save the fucking chicken bones I keep in there. Like a cold chicken bone.
LMFAO. Oh my fucking god.
I sent another one that I think is even funnier to ladies of Reddit if you scroll back in that chat a little bit.
Yeah.
There are two BLB group chats. One is called Backlog Bumholes, which is the four of us, and another one is called Ladies of Reddit that actually only includes. It's more of like a geographic group chat.
That's usually how group chats go.
But I mean, like Timo's not in Ladies of Reddit.
No, because he doesn't use Reddit.
And he doesn't know any of the people in the chat. What I'm saying is, I've been in. The point I'm making is I've been inducted into the Lincoln, Nebraska community.
Sure, it's true.
I'm an honorary resident of Lincoln, Nebraska.
Now here's a real question for you, Avery. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to.
I'll answer it. I don't give a fuck.
Do you have any meme group chats with your friends on campus?
On campus, no.
Or do you have separate meme group chats?
No. Well, in high school, I did.
So you've been going out without a meme group chat for almost 3 years now.
My meme group chats are serviced by you guys.
Sure.
But like, the truth about me, Tucker, is I don't have that many friends on campus.
Yeah.
I send Martin and I send each other memes, and when we live together, a good 45. A Lincoln Ally, yes. A good 45 minutes of our day, like across the day, in total time, elapsed time, would be showing each other shit on like social media.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah,
we did it. We actually live streamed.
Anyone want to buy Jean's watch?
What the fuck?
I said, do you want to take this with you when you leave? And she says no. And then I offered it to Tucker, and Tucker said he didn't want the watch. I'm going to auction.
That happened. That was Jesus Christ. That was 3 hours ago.
BLB auction?
BLB doesn't know how to run an auction.
Swing bada going once, bada swing bada going twice, bada going $400, bada.
Right. Now, the longer we're on here, immortality I'm going to be able to play tonight.
What?
The longer we're on here, the less immortality I'll be able to play tonight.
I gotta go do a Shulk Dumbo drop, so I gotta go anyway.
What the fuck does that mean?
That means I'm gonna go give Martin my Shulk amiibo so we can have the Monado in Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
What does Dumbo have to do?
Dumbo drop?
Yeah. If you're doing something visually, I can't see you.
I'm not. I'm just actually staring at the camera quietly.
Oh, alright. Well, I think that's...
Albie says the chat delay is too much for an auction.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad. I don't know why.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give out Tucker's address. You're all going to arrive there, and then we'll do the auction.
No. Okay, sounds good.
You've actually already given out your address on the channel.
I have?
Remember that? When I was streaming Halo? And then you were in the car. You were in the car as I was streaming Halo, and you set out your home address.
Did I really do that?
Yeah. But it wasn't audible. Remember that?
Abby was there.
Abby was there. Also, your mom tried to give out her credit card information on BLB.
That was a toughie.
We had to edit that out. You also doxed yourself with a photo of an envelope with your address on it for a different home.
Yeah.
So then I deleted the photo because I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So Tucker has doxed himself, or the sort of the Tucker Hazel bloodline is
what?
The Tucker Hazel bloodline is want for self-doxing.
You guys ever think about bloodline as just like, I feel like there's a line of blood on the ground?
You ever think about shoelace as a lace on your shoe?
Yeah.
shoe laced with foot odor.
Ooh.
I really think we ought to end the stream.
We otter. Let's otter.
Hey everybody.
Okay, split the channel.
We splitting the channel. I played Captain Rainbow. You eat them, baby bell. How you get them? My catchphrase. What was my catchphrase I was supposed to say 5 times?
I fucking forgot.
Because if I said it 5 times, Krampus was going to appear or whatever, right?
I don't think.
Or was that Candyman?
Candyman.